Just a second.
Folks, it's me, Donald Trump. We won, and it has a lot to do with the following guys. Let me tell you about something so huge, something they're all talking about. It's called The DUM Show with Matt Spear, and it's live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Eastern. This is the show that's redefining what it means to speak the truth in podcasting. No nonsense, no filters, just bold, fantastic commentary. Some say the best commentary ever. It's not funded by Russia. It's not funded by China. Oh no, this is 100% American energy right here. So tune in, watch The DUM Show on social media at The DUM Show or thedumshow.com, and let's make podcasting great again. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Welcome, everybody, to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Good to have you here. I want to thank Donald Trump for stopping by and not doing an endorsement, because I want that to be real. I don't want it to be fake.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't it be nice? Welcome. Leroy's with us tonight. Good to have you here, buddy.
Hey, thank you. It's good to be here.
We're going to be covering a whole bunch of stuff. We've got, it's Red Friday. It's a busy night tonight. And we were just listening, and we figured we would just give this to you the best way we know how. This 2 minutes, we're not going to say anything. We are going to listen to Still Point. And Olivia and I were listening in on the intro, just having them in the background. And dude, this band is amazing. And I love music. And I am such a freaking snob, an elitist when it comes to music. And if I don't like it, I pick it apart. I want you to listen to this. This is about the cry of the saints, and it's about people on earth waiting for God and wondering when he's going to come and when he's going to fix things and waiting for him. I want you to listen to this song if you haven't had a chance. Here it is. Guys can't hear it. Hold on, let's do it this way. Sorry. One more time. We'll do it the right way. Everyone's like, it's too low. I don't know why that's so low. I don't have it muted. But that's okay. We'll just play it real quick. I'll get to the part we were. So it's asking how long until God comes down and sends his hammer down and seeks retribution on the sin and the evil in the world, and understanding that he has a plan. But the question is, how long? Just going to listen to this for 1 minute, and then a little bit of the lyrics, and then guitar. And there's a reason I want to show this to you. Here it is.
When you say what's going down, will you just stand idly by and watch this world go down? I've seen the brightest lights fall like shooting stars. I've seen them lose their minds, seen them lose their hearts. Wounded and we're down. Sure could use your help right now. Will you allow this injustice to carry me out? Send your hammer down to right these round. When will you avenge us? Is this so loud? I know you got your plans, but how long? When they're sitting in the round, spinning wicked plans to take us out and drive a knife deeper in our backs when they lie. Showing seeds of division through internet, print, television. Where will it not be now? Where will all the knees bow? When you bring your hammer down, how long will you allow this injustice to carry on? Send your spirit down to Maggie's world. Where will you avenge us? It's been so long. I know you got your plans, but how long?
Man, they can play guitar. Folks, that's Still Point, STIILPOINT. Brandon, Nick, and Maddie, good friends of the show. They have been supplying our music for 4 years. They've got some new music coming out in 2 weeks. They don't pay me a damn thing. I don't pay them a damn thing. We're just brothers, and I love them to death, and I'd do anything for them. They've called out and said, hey, we need some help. And you know what? Olivia and I will help. And we call and ask for something, and they're right there for us. They are kindred spirits. We love them to death, and they make some rockin' music. Listen, I am a fan of some of the best bands that have ever picked up instruments, and whether that be Floyd or Zeppelin or Dream Theater or God, it doesn't matter who. Jethro Tull, Toad the Wet Sprocket. You can even move into country music and go to George Strait or Garth Brooks. You can talk about female singers, Sarah McLachlan. Yes, Celine Dion. You talk about rap music, and we can talk about Fab Five Freddy, Sugar Hill Gang. We talk about Run DMC, NWA, Tupac, M. It doesn't matter. I love music. I can't believe I didn't say Def Leppard, but I will be honest with you. Whenever I am just like not feeling good, or I just need to get some motivation to hit the weights or whatever, I put on Still Point, and man, they just rock my world. STIILPOINT. Go to iTunes, go to Spotify, go say hello to these wonderful dudes, and you won't be sorry. We'll be right back. Thanks for letting us play a little bit. We haven't promoted Still Point in a while. That's why we had the 7:15 start. We hope you enjoy. We'll see you in just a few seconds. Minutes. Step into a whim, kid.
Marks Twins here. Check out our friend Matthew Spirit at his podcast at The DUM Show and his website. Yeah, don'tunfriendme.com. Yeah.
It's Red Friday, RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Hello, everybody. Welcome, Olivia. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. How are you?
Hello, I'm wonderful.
Leroy, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me Show. How are you?
I am good, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You look good.
Thanks, buddy.
It's Friday.
Feel
You
good.
look like you just got done doing like a Black Ops mission or something.
No, he had a date this morning.
Okay.
Mike watches the show. He's gonna get pissed. Like he was pissy. You should have heard some of the names he was calling you at the breakfast
I
table.
thought it was freaking funny.
So what happened was my buddy Mike came over, and he's an older gentleman, but he's salt, dude. He's soft, and he's special forces, and he's a badass guy. And he comes over, and I need to drop some packages off for some of the boxes for the documents of freedom and such.
Yeah.
And when I left Valor, I just never got another car. I didn't need it. I've been here, So it's kind of like, why do I need another car? I'm not going to spend $1,000 a month on a car that I drive once a couple months to get a haircut. So I'm like, hey, you want to drop me off at the post office? And it's like less than 1/8 of a mile away. And he's like, sure. And I go to breakfast. So anyway, I'm walking out the door, and I've got the boxes in my hands, and it's just like 3 little boxes, and his little Jeep is there, and he comes and opens up the door. Well, Olivia's watching on the camera because she spies on us on the camera.
He opened the door for you?
Yeah, because I had boxes in my hand. So it was raining, and he was raining. But just shut up for a second. I'll tell you the story. God, Jesus, you jealous? So anyway, I look over at him, and I'm like, hey, why the fuck are you opening the door for me? Just like Leroy did, I was like, you're stealing my thunder, Leroy. And he goes, because you got boxes in your hand. That's the way he sounds. He sounds like Sam Elliott, and he looks like him too. I mean, he's got the mustache. It's everything. He's got it. And then all of a sudden, we're sitting at the breakfast table, and we're just a little bit. And then Olivia goes, "Oh, how cute! Mike opened up the door for you. You guys make an adorable couple." And he's like, "Your fucking wife." It's like she's opening up her mouth again. And so I'm like, "I'm leaving you." And I said, Mike and I are running off together. And she goes, I hope you'll make a happy couple. And it was,
I said, what did I say? I approve or something like that. You guys make a really cute couple.
Right. And Mike's a good dude.
I give you my blessing. That's what I say.
Carolyn Levitt, who was Donald Trump's national press secretary. You may have seen her do some really good job interviews on the mass media when they would invite campaign conversations and getting the campaign to speak on things, and she did a great job, and she very much was assigned to the national press secretary. Thank you, Bobby Richardson. We love you.
The goal is not up.
Well, you should have told me.
I just now noticed it.
Oh,
that's why.
Well, that's why. So she was just named. We've also had a few other names. Thank you, Bobby Richardson. So a few other names have come across the wire, and they're good. I do like. This is more of an expected pick, which is a good thing. I didn't expect it not to be someone that we had seen from the campaign. Also got some rumblings. I spoke to somebody today who, I really don't need to go into detail, but I'll just tell you that Nikki Haley was offered an administration position, is my understanding, and essentially, what do you want to do was the question, and she couldn't come up with an answer, and ultimately did not join the administration. So it looks like the bad blood is still there. And, good. She served her purpose. The Nikki Haley supporters came home. That's what I wanted. I like Nikki Haley. I didn't want her as president. I didn't want her as a vice president necessarily. I thought it would be great for his campaign. And in the end, he got the votes that he needed from her without putting her on the campaign. So good for him. But I think it's silly to be so
Petty?
It's not petty. I mean, I would be pissed too. I mean, he really laid into her. So I'd be a little bent, but it is what it is.
It's politics. Everyone does it.
I agree with that, but he did it twice. So he did it when you and Ambassador said wonderful things about her, and then kind of backpedaled, and then when she ran, did it too. And I'm not saying she said some horrible shit too. They both did. But if Joe Biden and Donald Trump can make amends and smile for the country, in my eyes, the way I look at it with Donald Trump is, you serve at the pleasure of the president, and if the president of the United States comes knocking, you say yes.
Right.
And that's why. Go ahead, Leroy.
Well, and there's a big difference between when you're campaigning against someone versus when someone invites you into their administration. So, all the time where Trump and Biden were campaigning against each other, and he would call him Sleepy Joe, Low Energy Joe, right? He would do that.
That was pretty good.
It was good. It wasn't bad. It's getting better.
And so at the end of the day, though, they were still able to sit down together at the White House and still smile for the cameras, because that's when they're campaigning against each other. But when someone asks you to, hey, you've got an open seat at the table for my administration, that's kind of a big deal. So it's kind of a shitty thing for her to have fluffed that off.
Yeah, and like I said, I wanted her because he needed to somehow bring the 21% home. He brought the 21% home, and good for him. And now Nikki Haley can kiss sand, because they all can kiss sand. That's the one thing I love about this cabinet. There's really no rhinos in. Even Marco Rubio is not a rhino. So to me, somebody said, Matt, you said a few times that you don't believe Trump will be in the White House again. Do you still think that? The comments that I made were the toughest fight is going to be after he wins election. Has it changed? Yeah, a little bit. I think Biden has made it that way. And I think what Biden did was incredible. And I think that I got to say, I was talking to multiple Republicans today who said, we don't like Joe. We don't like his policies. We don't like what he did to our country. But I'll tell you what he did with Trump was admirable. And I got to agree with him. I thought, listen, there's more to this than you know. Let's watch this video and then we'll get into it. This will help put it in perspective. Some of you have seen it. Most of you haven't. It's something we did today. This is an artificial intelligence video, AI made, and it's actually really good. Alexander, I know you have, and it's a tough question for me because I want to give you the best information. But if you asked me 30 days ago, would Trump take the White House again? I knew he'd win. I just didn't believe that they would allow him to go on. I still think. Right. Listen, let me explain something. Let's look at January 6th and see where everyone's at, okay? Because we didn't boil over right away. It took time. We believed that we were still going to win the election. When all hope is lost, well, I didn't believe we were going to win the election. A lot of people did. And then it was just like January 6th hit, and just the shit just went right out of the horse. Let's see where Democrats are at in the next 60 days. And see where their heads are at. Because I believe that once they know that these recounts aren't going to happen, that this election is over. It's been decided. She has no recourse. She is conceded. It's over.
Right.
There is no election.
There's no coming back from that. Right.
It's over. She conceded. It's official. It's over. So until Democrats realize that, once that happens, I think we should wait and see. But I'm telling you, it's going to get worse. The more that they realize that their resistance that they think they have is futile. There's maybe one or two of those picks that might not get through. Matt Gaetz is going to be a tough one. Seems like they're narrowing down on RFK and Matt Gaetz and a little bit with Pete Hegseth, a little bit with Tulsi Gabbard, but Tulsi and Pete should get confirmed. RFK and Matt Gaetz are the two tough ones right now. And that's what they're narrowing down on. But once they realize that they don't have any recourse, once they realize that Supreme Court justices might retire, as soon as they realize that Trump is going to move forward with deportation, we might see them melt down. So let's watch this video and then we can discuss. And I think this video gave me chills. I watched this today. Holy shit. For an AI video, just get past it and just put yourself in the shoes. And then there's like a 2-minute thing that I say afterwards, and then we can come back and talk about this. Thank you, Jennifer McCarver. That she's new, yeah?
No, we've had her a couple times. She is in chat. She's been in chat a long time. She's donated a couple times.
Jennifer, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Oops, I forgot to add everybody. I'll do that in a second. Actually, hold on. Hang tight, folks. This won't take anything but a second. 1, 2, and 3. And 3. And where are you? There it is. And don't do what you did earlier. There it is. 1, 2, 3. All right. Here we go. Listen to this. Leroy, this is good, dude.
Tough break for Cammy, huh?
You just started a war.
No, I just finished one.
I am going to do everything in my power to end you.
Listen here, I've been around a lot longer than you.
Yeah, no shit.
You never understood how this really works. You were always a good soldier for them, but not me. I didn't get plucked out of nowhere like you did. I spent 40 years hiding skeletons for those fucks.
I knew you were fucking stupid, but this is insane. You really don't know the enemies you just made. We are going to erase you from history.
Oh, like I give a fuck, I've made my bed. I'll lay in it. I know my family is protected. How about yours? How long you think before?
Now I want everyone to stop. Because the first time I listened to this, I was laughing. Stop laughing. Listen to it. And take it seriously. Change your mindset. And I want you to consider this to be a trailer for a serious movie. And I want you to hear the message inside of it, because I laughed at first and I was getting kind of grumpy earlier today because people were laughing. I'm like, no, stop laughing. Just listen. This isn't a funny one. This one is deep as shit. Listen to it again.
Tough break for Cammy, huh?
You just started a war.
No, I just finished one.
I am going to do everything in my power to end you.
Listen here, I've been around a lot longer than you.
Yeah, no shit.
You never understood how this really works. You were always a good soldier for them, but not me. I didn't get plucked out of nowhere like you did. I spent 40 years hiding skeletons for those fucks.
I knew you were fucking stupid, but this is insane. You really don't know the enemies you just made. We are going to erase you from history.
Oh, like I give a fuck, I've made my bed. I'll lay in it. I know my family is protected. How about yours? How long you think before investigations start? How long do you think you'll stay useful to them? Besides, give yourself some credit. You were the one that dared him to run, but now I gave him the Oval Office. How about you?
Joe, what the fuck did you do?
I don't remember. I'm just a crazy old man, right?
Did you make a deal with him?
Like I said, my family's protected. Hold on, I got someone who wants to talk to you.
Hello, Barry. It's been quite a long time, hasn't it?
This isn't fucking over.
I'm not an idiot, Barry. I just play one on TV.
Holy crap.
Whoever made that one.
A video. Like, I'm not a big AI person. I usually run across those and I'm like, whatever. But man, would that make a great book? And you got to ask yourself the question, is it really that far from reality? I mean, is it some sort of strange fiction? A lot of that's true. Joe Biden was plucked out of nowhere. Obama also came out of nowhere, but for two different reasons. You had an establishment politician in Joe Biden who was known by everyone as kind of a goof and a gaffe machine and somebody that had a good old boy attitude, but had a lot of skeletons in his closet. And then you have Obama, who is this manufactured candidate, and both of them were surprising. And is it really fiction? Can you imagine Joe Biden being removed from office like he was, thinking that he could beat Trump again for round 2? And the numbers weren't good. We knew this, but they were a lot better than what Kamala Harris was putting up. After the DNC, she got a huge boost, but they all do. It wasn't as big as we anticipated. And then when she started talking, of course, we saw what happened. The question is, how mad was Joe Biden? How upset was he? You have to look at every time she had a rally, he would do what? He would interrupt somehow. He would take the news cycle. He would stop by the press on the way to the chopper the same time she was going to speak. Or what about that crazy press conference when he hadn't even entered the White House press corps for 4 years? And then one day, miraculously, at one of her biggest speeches, he shows up. Jill Biden writes a letter to Melania, which is supposedly entitled, "Don't Believe the Press. Don't believe the media." What's she trying to say? That she and Joe didn't know about the Mar-a-Lago raid? That they didn't know about the prosecution and persecution of Donald Trump? Because how's that possible? But maybe they did know. And that's the thing. And then finally said, we don't like the way this tastes. This is being done to us. Did Joe Biden turn against the Democratic Party? Is this why Obama was so upset? Is this why Kamala took the reins so quickly? There's so many questions. I can't wait for the books. It's going to be awesome. But what if in this fan fiction, there is a semblance of truth that Joe Biden, in the end, invited Donald Trump to the White House, sat down, shared smiles, which wasn't for us. It wasn't to bring the country together. It was to send a message to the Democrats to be careful, to tread carefully, because Joe Biden had kind of coronated Donald Trump in the eyes of public opinion. I wonder, talked about this on the show, if Hunter Biden will be pardoned by Donald Trump on January 20th when he comes into office. I wouldn't be surprised, and even more shocking, but still something that we had talked about, what if Joe Biden pardons Donald Trump to the extent in exchange? Wouldn't that be something? I guess we'll see. Pretty cool video. I hope you enjoyed it. It wasn't made by me, but man, it kicked my butt when I saw it. I must have seen it 70 times since. I want to make a quick comment before we open it up to everybody. But Thomas says, that was done well enough to sound like the real people, but Joe Biden wasn't so much plucked as he put in 40 years. That's absolutely not true at all. Joe Biden was told in 2016 that he was not allowed to run. He was forbade to run. The only reason in 2020, they were actually talking, I don't know if you knew this, but you take a look at the candidates who they had. There was a consideration for a third run of Hillary Clinton. You want to take a look at Michael Avenatti, who brought the trial against Trump. Their goal in 2020 was to have someone who could beat Trump. That was it. They didn't care about policy. They didn't care about anything. They had to be tough. They had to be resilient. And they believed that Joe Biden, with his exchanges, but his political career was over. He was a VP that didn't get to run after incumbency. That is out of nowhere. Joe Biden's name did not come up until about the 3.5 month mark, and before they started really running and primarying. And so he was plucked out of nowhere. Yes, I specifically said that he was in politics for 40 some odd years, but that doesn't matter. His career was over. Nobody thought Joe Biden was going to be the nominee. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. That's my point. What do you guys think? Liv, you first, and then Leroy, please.
I mean, it's hard to really say what is going on in their heads, but from the looks of how Biden has acted since he was ousted, it sure does look like he was trying to underhand Kamala. Like you said, doing press conferences that he's never done before right in the middle of her stuff. right when she gets on to speak, boom, it switches to Biden. It definitely does seem like that. And you can't stay in politics for 40 plus years without being conniving and knowing shit and keeping secrets and knowing what's going on. And I think they pissed him off to no end. And I think they did it. I think they did it because they feel that he is losing his mind. He does have dementia. And he is not that smart right now because of that. And I don't think they realize that he might be old and he might be a little foggy in the brain, but I think they pissed him off. And I have no doubt in my mind that with all his being, him and Jill are going to try and burn the whole thing down. That's my opinion, because he did not like Trump. Why in the world did he do anything to help Kamala? Because that's what, I mean, to help Trump, because that's what it looks like he was doing in the last few months of the campaign, is he was trying to help him without helping him, without being, you know, with the press conferences and stuff. So that's just my thought. I think he's pissed, and hell hath no fury.
Do me a favor.
Yes.
Say one.
One.
Say one.
One.
Say one.
One.
Say one.
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 No, I'm doing me. One. Leroy, say one.
One.
I got to see your mouth, dude. Say one.
One.
Liv.
One.
Do it again, Liv.
One.
One. One. One. Okay, so we're getting serious lag.
Do you think it'd be the 4K?
No, it's not the 4K. It's the connections going through this powered amp. So we're going to have to go directly into the computer. And that's okay. I've got the space for it. I just need to get a couple of, I've got it. I'll fix it after the show, but that's what it is. Can you do me a favor one more time, Liv? Say one.
One.
Yeah, you're laggy. I'm laggy. You're more laggy than me because you're going through a different plug. Mm-hmm. And I think what I might need to do is just upgrade my graphics, the router for these cameras. I might need to buy a nested hub. I'll figure this out. It's not laggy. It's that our mouth isn't in sync with the chatter. You see what I'm saying? Our mouths are not syncing up.
Got it.
And that it's not the sound.
Do you think, because I remember when we first started, you had to like delay the video?
That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay.
I was syncing it while we were talking. So I was watching you and I was bringing it up and bringing it down.
Got it.
And I got it. It's a plus 10, but it's still not perfect. And you know me, I need it perfect.
Yes.
Leroy, your thoughts on the video? Because I know you've got some interesting thoughts. I think there's three things that are absolutely sure. That there is massive tension between Biden and Obama. That we know Jill Biden wrote a letter to Melania and had it hand delivered to her because Melania did not accept her invitation to the White House. And the reason why Melania didn't accept it is it's rumored, and then plus because of her book, is because of the raid on Mar-a-Lago. She felt that was dirty. She felt that was cheap. She was not okay with it. And Thomas, send me a link on that, please. Whatever that is, the RTX 490, send it to me. Yeah, because I need something that can capture 3 or 4 different cameras, and I can go right into the computer. But I just don't want any. And the problem is I'm going into a powered USB-C 3, HDMI, and USB, and it's lagging a little bit. I'm gonna go right into the computer and see if that changes things. Anyway, just send it to my email, matt@thedumshow.com. And then the third thing is that Joe Biden has a very contentious relationship with Kamala Harris. So all those things, what are your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was interesting. The first thing that I picked up on, right, was the fact that the first quote that keeps rushing through my head is that the left eats its own. And it's interesting when you were making that comparison about, hey, look, you have one side of the aisle that is trying to put forth policy that we think that the American public is going to understand, buy into, and say, hey, look, we need help with our groceries, inflation. We want secure borders and stop fentanyl, right? If you pitch a string of policies and put that together in a platform, that is something the American people can latch on to, whereas the other side was just simply looking for who can beat Trump. Who's our guy? Because Biden is he's tits up in the polls. Kamala is sucking sewer water. She's not doing any better. But I mean, what's our best we can't not run either the current president or the current vice president. We have to pick one. And so I'm constantly going back to what was the Democrat Party thinking at the time, right? And I honestly, I do have to wonder. I am not saying he is racist. I am just curious. We've all heard those comments about when Obama was described by Biden, called him, the first African American, clean cut, articulate, all that horse shit, right? And then the Democrat Party comes along and says, look, we're going to pitch you for 2016, but you need to run this person as your VP. You need a woman of color, right? You're the guy. You have to buy into this. Your party is telling you what to do. Maybe he didn't like that. And then when they pulled him out of the driver's seat and said, nope, we're going to run her now because you're tanking in the polls, I'm getting that vibe. You know what I mean? And so that's definitely a big part of it. And then the third piece to that is the lack of party, I guess affiliation, the lack of party support to the current sitting president, for them to come to him and say, you're out. Wait a minute. I'm the sitting president.
Right.
I said I'm not out. I've been saying I'm not out for the last 4 fucking months, and now you're telling me you want me out. After he just got done multiple interviews, multiple debates saying, no, I am in. Now he's got forced to eat crow because that's what his party wanted. I think there's a lot of animosity there. I think that there is a big part of that video that could have actually rang true. Those words may not have been spoken verbally for all the world to hear, but I guarantee they were thought.
I don't know if racism is a large enough motivating factor to play all of this. I think Joe Biden, I think it's a underlying because Joe Biden got past his racist ways. And now his thought, and pardon the language, folks, but, those uppity N-words used me. Right. And they abandoned I swallowed it, and I knew I was right about them. And they abandoned me. And Kamala betrayed me. I want you to understand how that would feel if you're Joe Biden and you literally carry Obama's shit for 8 years. You're shunned and slapped down on fundraisers and areas where you both show up together, and Obama pushes him to the side. He treats him like shit.
Right.
And at some point you think Biden is probably just like, motherfucker, what and why did they do it?
Do you remember that party?
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
where Obama brushed him off and ignored him and left him hanging, and it's and then you also got to look where he says she's not me. She doesn't have, when he said that to Obama, they read his lips, and he's like, she's not better than me. And Obama's like, yeah, I know. So this is behind the scenes baseball that you can't get away with like it was in the Kennedy days. This is trilateral commission shit. This is behind the curtain, that all of this is a setup. All of this is a plan. They put these people in front of us, and they all work behind the scenes to maintain power. We got to see it because there's cameras everywhere. There's audio equipment everywhere. You can't escape it. Hey, Leroy, turn up your lights a little bit. You're super dark. Please. And that's the thing we need to consider. There you go, buddy. That's better. So I to me, this isn't as much of a I don't know, a shot in the dark, because I think there's a lot of anecdotal evidence and circumstantial evidence to kind of draw us to this conclusion that things are not okay. And Joe Biden's pissed. And what I imagine is, and let me explain this the best way I know how. When you went ahead and you brought Taliban to the White House, people felt that you were establishing and giving them credibility as a leadership. And Democrats scream this from the rooftops. When you went and saw Kim Jong-un in North Korea and crossed the DMZ, which was ballsy as hell, you're giving him credibility, is what the argument is. Joe Biden, by inviting Donald Trump to the White House and having him sit with photographs, you gave his presidency validity. You basically told America he's the next president. Shut up. I'm the current president. I'm leaving. And he's the guy. To me, I don't think Obama liked that. I don't think Kamala liked that. I don't think the sitting attorney general liked it. I don't think anyone liked it, because any plans that they have now is not just circumventing the presidency because Donald Trump's Hitler, but you're overthrowing the current president's wishes and admitting that he is the president. And you didn't even give Kamala a chance to ease into the legal framework of challenging whatever this would be. To me, this was what Kamala did to Joe Biden, jumping the gun and stealing the electors and putting herself in the forefront before Nancy Pelosi and Obama could blink. Joe Biden just did the same thing with Donald Trump. I truly believe that. I don't think he had the sign off on that. Go ahead.
I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah.
It was rumored back in 2016, probably every 4 to 8 years, but it was rumored back in 2016 after Trump had lost, that there was a deep fracturing, that the Republican Party itself was unraveling, and that there was so much infighting within the party that the party basically had to build itself again.
We hear this every 4 years. Yep.
Right. Now, do we think that in this case, that maybe there's some legitimacy to it, at least from the Democrat point of view?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm increasing your brightness because you're too dark. I'm sorry, it's driving me crazy.
Oh, I can do that.
No. I already got it. I fixed it. Don't touch it.
Oh,
God damn it, man. I just fixed it. So I'm going to send you my new camera. I have my old camera I'm not using anymore. I'm sending it to you. That's it. Okay. We're all going to be the same. And then you have to grow. You have to grow, Munchkin Man, because you're the first. You're wait. You see how low you are?
I tilted my
to see
camera,
the wizard,
actually.
the
Tilt
wonderful
it
Wizard of
the
Oz.
other way. Tilt it down. Like grab it and go like this.
I didn't
That's all
want
you
to be
gotta do.
taller than the frame.
Just tilt the fucking camera down.
Pause me. Pause me.
Yeah. You want me to take you off screen? Here you go. Tell me when you're ready. I got you. I got you in the green room. So let me know when you're there. Whoa! Look at the. Oh God, dude! Showing that thing. No wonder why you want me to pause it. Is that thing's the size of a baby's arm?
It's amazing.
Okay. Here, I'm going to put you on. There you go, buddy. There you go. Welcome to the land of the grown-ups. Nice to see you, kid. You're not sitting at the little kids table. We are the lollipop kids. Lollipop kids. All right. So you hear that all the time. Like 2014 was supposed to be the destruction of the Republican Party. Like the primaries didn't go well, the midterms didn't go well, the Tea Party was fracturing. There was a power struggle between the guys like Paul Ryan and Michelle Bachmann and the religious zealots of the Tea Party inside taking over the conservative movement. If you watch the movie TV show Newsroom, it basically goes over this, and it really is a shitty show because they pretend like they know everything because they're talking about the past, which is a little unfair, but it's a very good show that really talks about the Tea Party's rise and the conservative movement and where it went. And then we heard this in 2016. The Democrats were over; they weren't going to be rebuilt. It was splintering. Ocasio-Cortez was throwing hand grenades into this new regime, and then we heard this in 2020 or 2018. The Democrats will come back. And honestly, they won't come back by anything that they do. They'll come back because the American people will forget. And once Donald Trump gets these things fixed, and it's probably going to be 8 years, right? I don't think they see him as a one-term president. I think Republicans have a good chance to take the next 12 years. And I think Trump, if he does what he says and he shores the things up and he replicates 2016 before COVID, I think Youngkin or DeSantis or JD or Haley or whoever it's going to be will come in, make the impact, and we'll get 8 years. And then America will be ready for working on societal norms, working on, there'll be some sort of group that needs some sort of special rights. Maybe it's education, maybe it's whatever, Republicans don't focus on as much as they should. And then we get the cycle. And that happens, and we need change. But it's the Democrats are doubling down. They're worse than they ever have been. Now it's not just Trump's a racist. Fuck, man. They call him Pete Hegseth a white nationalist neo-Nazi because he has Christian tattoos on his body. They're saying he's a neo-Nazi, that he's racist because he doesn't think black people should be higher in command. It's bullshit. They think RFK kills people through the measles, and like today they said, oh well, he's killed hundreds of people. Like, what are you fucking talking about? They're not slowing down. Liv, what do you think? Anything special about this that we're missing besides? I mean, you saw the video. Is there anything that stood out to you that you think is just like crazy, or is it striking home?
I mean, it doesn't seem that far-fetched and that crazy. I think it is definitely splintering right now. And the only reason it is, I think, is because Biden doesn't care anymore. And if it wasn't for the fact that for Biden, they would just be like, okay, whatever. They might falter a little bit, but they'll come back. But I think Biden is done, and I think Advil, dude, ibuprofen. Thank you. Ibuprofen, dude. Yeah, I think Biden is going to help splinter the party, and we're going to see what Trump does. I mean,
yeah, he's going to have to have a successful 2 years. I'll tell you that much.
Also, when he gets into office, what is he going to do to burn it down? Is he going to do investigations? Is he going to try and clean up the swamp like he wanted to 4 years ago?
Based upon his appointments, he's going to do just that.
So it kind of depends on that. How much he cleans house, how much is going to be put out in the air and put out public, and what skeletons in Obama and Pelosi and Schiff's closets are actually going to come out and have light. That's going to be a big factor of how quickly the Democratic Party is going to come back together and be cohesive and come back to power, or if it's going to take them a really long time and completely splinter and they're going to have to start a new party.
Let's take it a different pathway. Let's look at the assignments. What do they all have in common with his current administration? And I was looking at them and I'm like, okay, what is the common thread?
With what?
With his picks.
With Trump's picks to who? To what?
To the national fucking beauty pageant, Olivia. I mean, the administration, honey. The cabinet, his picks.
I understand that, but what am I comparing it to?
I don't know. Similar. Sorry, I'm like, how do you not understand what I'm asking?
I don't understand.
What are the similarities and commonalities that they all have in common? What are the things?
To Trump?
No, it's worse.
They're all fresh faces.
I want to have a conversation about it, right? That's what I'm sorry. I don't mean to be grumpy, but I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
No, I didn't know what I was comparing.
Got it. You're comparing to what do they all have in common? That's the comparison. You've got and I thought you were asking like what picks?
No,
that's what you
I
said.
knew that. I didn't know what I was comparing them to.
Okay, because I was just confused. I'm like, what do you mean what picks? The draft picks for the 49ers of San Francisco. No, I get it. Okay. Let's just not like run to the answer. Okay. Let's take a second and let's deliberate and let's talk about what they have in common. Okay. I didn't want to just start spitting out answers because sometimes that makes it more difficult to find the common thread. Okay. So let's just start saying, okay, let's look at Tulsi Gabbard. Let's define her, the three things that she is. Better return my phone when you're done, boy.
Answer my text, dude.
What are the three things that they all have in common? Or three things that you'd use to describe Tulsi Gabbard? Just now we can spit out a couple things. Go.
She's pretty.
Okay. Can we things that matter, please? Matter. Come on, Libby. This isn't the roulette thing.
Army Reserve officer.
Okay, so military service. What else? Give me 2 and 3. And please.
She's left the Democratic Party.
Big tits and succulent ass doesn't count.
She's left the Democratic Party.
She's abandoned the Democratic Party. Okay, so she has knowledge of what it's like to be with the enemy. Fair enough?
Mm-hmm.
They are the enemy. Are they not? Have we not established that the Democratic Party is the enemy of America? Okay, good. I hope we all agree. Because I believe they are. Do I believe every Democrat in America is an enemy? No. Do I believe that the ones in power are an enemy to our republic? Yes, I do. So she was with the enemy. Sorry, I'm really serious about that. I'm really, I want us to really focus on this. So Tulsi Gabbard, military service, has been on the other side. What's the third thing? Take a second, because this is important what we're doing, because it's going to tell us what Trump's doing.
She's younger than normal.
Probably an aesthetic. So can we say that she has done a whole bunch in a short period of time?
Yeah.
Okay. So multitasking and the ability to handle an excessive workload and different tasks, right? Is that fair?
Mm-hmm.
She has a podcast. She has a podcast. She was on Sunday talk shows. She had toured around with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. She was in law. She was in the military. Okay, so we have multifaceted, right? That's one. Number 2, had worked with the Democrats, and the first one, military service. Okay, right. Do we have those? Olivia, you write these down for me.
Yeah.
Just in case, just put them on notes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay, all right. So now let's go to Pete Hegseth. Okay, Pete Hegseth. Give me the first one.
Military.
That's a commonality. Great. So now we got military service. Give me a second one.
He definitely wants to buck the system. He's looking to reduce the size of the government.
Does Tulsi Gabbard want to buck the system and reduce the size of government too?
What was the third one on Gabbard? I'm sorry.
Hold on.
She was
let's
still
go back.
pro-Obamacare. I don't think so.
Let's go back. Democrat, worked for the other team, military service, multitasker. Accomplished a lot at a young age. Okay.
Got it.
Now, hold on a second. Tulsi Gabbard supposedly has started to adopt conservative views, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So the question is, does she want to buck the system? She doesn't want big wars. She doesn't want endless wars. And she's frustrated with the intelligence agencies for lack of performance in their role. Said that many times with their overseas service. So the question is, are those commonalities that Pete Hegseth wants to buck the system? Does she want to buck the system? I don't think she would have left the Republican Party or Democrat Party, become an independent, and then now be a Republican and then go after Hillary Clinton, go after Kamala Harris, go after Joe Biden, and go after all Democrats. I think buck the system is a commonality. Okay, so let's add a fourth. Add a fourth, okay? And we'll cross out when we have ones that don't line up, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, here's the thing. Anti-establishment is a better, I like that. Tommy said anti-establishment. I like that better than buck the system. Let's cross out buck the system. Let's put accomplished, multifaceted, multitaskers, military service, We're going to put on one, a buck the system.
But now we're changing that to
Former Democrat.
And they were former Democrat. Yeah, cross off former Democrats because that has nothing to do with it. Okay. At least from Pete Hegseth's standpoint.
Am I keeping former Democrat on Gabbard?
No, because we're doing commonalities.
Okay.
And Pete Hegseth, listen. They now have three things in common. We've established them.
Okay, so
but Liv, you gotta let me finish, baby. Honey, look at me. Let me finish, okay?
Okay.
Okay, it's really complicated what we're trying to do here, and we got it. You can't. Every time you ask me a question, you keep interrupting me, and I can't explain it to you. We're writing down the things they have in common, then we're moving to the next person. We're trying to find all similarities that all the parties have, okay? Mm-hmm. Pete Hegseth isn't a Democrat. So it goes away. So you cross it off. What they do have in common is that they're military, they're anti-establishment, and they've accomplished a lot of things at a young age. Those are the three things that are now replacing it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's go to RFK. RFK is a former Democrat, right? Does that count?
Yep.
It doesn't, because Pete Hegseth isn't. Something in common with Tulsi, but not in the overall three. Is RFK former military?
That I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know the answer to that question. All right, we'll look it up.
I'm looking at RFK Jr.
It's okay. Let's look this up. He's not. I'll just steal the answer. He's not.
No.
So RFK Jr. is not former military. But does he have government service then? And the answer is
yes.
Yes, he does. Former lawyer, activist, very political, from a political family. So, add military, government service. Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So now let's go to Matt Gaetz.
So right now, I only have one for RFK, though. I've only got government service
but
for him.
He's accomplished at a young age because we know that. He's done things. We just said that. He's done things his whole life.
Okay.
He's anti-establishment, and he's had military government service. See? So we know those are commonalities. So you don't need to write down for each one. We're checking. We're going to, whenever we find something that doesn't have in common, it removes it from the pool.
Got it.
Okay. Now, there could be exceptions, but if we see 2 or 3 people and government service, military service is not on 3 of them, then we got to go, wait a second, stop. Okay? All right. Let's go to Matt Gaetz. Is he anti-establishment? Hey, guys.
I'm thinking.
Didn't he sit on the House Ethics Committee?
No, he wasn't on the House Ethics. Dude, Matt Gaetz is most assuredly anti-establishment, guys. Okay? 100%. He believes in reducing the size of all bills. He wants single bill legislation. He believes that Congress should be in session longer than it is. He believes that everyone should be there for a vote. He believes not in the expansion of government. He wants to reduce the government. He's anti-establishment. And he's hated. He's in the Freedom Caucus, for God's sake.
Yeah.
If you're in the Freedom Caucus, you're fucking anti-establishment. Okay, so he's it's okay. Everyone gets confused. That's why I'm here to direct, see? But I don't direct like, hi, guys, let's go ahead and hold hands. Okay. I direct like, hey, shut up for a second. That's what I do. That's who I am. That's how we get things done. Okay. I got confused for a second, too. All right. So is Matt Gaetz anti-establishment? The answer is yes. Second.
Yes.
They have government military service. Yes. He's
What
state
did he do?
legislature. He's state legislature.
All right.
I mean, he's government. He's got government military service, okay? Third thing is he a multifaceted person who has accomplished a lot in his life? Yes, very accomplished. Okay, so now we're starting to see a pattern for him here. Let's go to Vivek Ramaswamy. Is Vivek have government service or military service?
Not that I know of.
He ran for office. He ran for office and he was the CEO. Okay, so can we add government service, military, CEO, business, somebody who has been responsible for people. So how about leadership? Is leadership now what we're talking about? Because when we put all three of those together, military
Absolutely.
service, great.
Okay.
Cross it off, put leadership in the second. Has to have qualified leadership. Okay, so now we've got it. Now the last question is the anti-establishment.
Yes.
Oh, fuck yes. Okay, so
Yes.
now you've got, this is great. We know you don't have to be a former Democrat, but we've got a lot of commonalities. Okay? What are the commonalities we have? What are the top three? Read them off.
Leadership. Anti-establishment, and he is a multifaceted, multitasking, a person with a lot of accomplishment in their background.
Perfect. All right, let's go to Pete Hegseth.
We already did him.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah,
He was the
we already
second
did.
one.
We did Pete Hegseth. Okay, let me go to the next one. Sorry. Here's the picks. Let's go to Doug Burgum. Doug Burgum, North Dakota governor. He's nominated as Interior Secretary. Republican leadership. He was a software mogul and CEO. He ran for president. The question is, is it fairly conservative? When he was governor of North Dakota, was rated one of the most conservative governors in the United States. He has talked about reducing the size of the bureaucracy in Washington, and talked about getting to conservative values and reducing fiscal spending. So the question is, Liv, read off our list.
Leadership, anti-establishment.
Wait, so again, one at a time. Leadership. He has run a successful software company as a CEO and was a governor. Do we call that leadership, government? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
Did he serve in the military?
That I don't know. We'd have to look that one up.
I already know the answer, but I want to make sure.
I don't know of his former government background.
Now I have a question. Is the leadership government
Yes,
kind
they're all
of combined?
the same thing. Yes,
Okay.
they're all, because those are the commonalities in all three. He did not serve in the military. I'm almost positive, but I'll check. You can just look at somebody and usually tell. I hate to say that, but that's true. Doug Burgum, serve military. And I'm almost positive he didn't. Let me double check. MBA in Stanford. Plain Software, 1983, opened up a company. He was later acquired by Microsoft. Entered politics in 2016, became the 33rd governor of North Dakota. Okay. He is an avid supporter of the military, signed multiple VA bills, recognized reduced taxes for active duty and National Guard Reserve members. So he's done a lot. So the question, give me the first one, Liv. What is it?
Leadership.
Leadership. Leroy? Yes?
Yep.
What's the second one?
Anti-establishment.
Is the anti-establishment.
I would think so.
Leroy? Wants to reduce the size of government, wants to hold them accountable for fiscal spending, wants to get away of wasteful programs. Yes. Okay. What's the third one, Liv?
Multitasker, accomplished.
Does he sound like a multitasking person who's accomplished?
Yeah,
Okay, great.
he does.
So we've done that. All right. Now, Doug Collins. Does everyone remember Doug Collins?
No, I don't.
Doug Collins. We love him. He worked, he was a former state representative, Doug Collins. He's no longer there. He's United States Air Force reservist. He served in Iraq. He was in Congress from 2012. He ran for Senate. He failed. He left. He was a staunch supporter of Trump. Let's go ahead and get his bio. We can read it off. There's a reason we're doing this, folks.
I think I know.
I think you know too. Now you know. See, that's why we're doing it. Here's his bio. American lawyer. Went to University of Northern Georgia. Poli-sci in criminal justice. Has a Master of Divinity from New Orleans Baptist.
Master of Divinity.
Yeah, God. Theology. Priest.
Gotcha.
Pastor. Collins begins his professional job as a pastor. He joined the U.S. Air Force as a chaplain. Was in Balad Air Base in Iraq. What was the first one, Liv? Give it to us.
Leadership.
Leadership, yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
It's leadership.
What's the second one?
Anti-establishment.
Is he anti-establishment? He's an avid Trump supporter.
Yes.
Yes, he is. Third.
Multitasker and accomplished, and he sounds very accomplished.
Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's just pick one more. Did we do Tulsi Gabbard? We did.
Yes. No.
Yeah, we did. She was the first one.
Yeah.
Maybe, you know what? I'm going to go with Thomas Homan first. Homan first, the border czar. And then we'll
Is
go.
it Holland or Holman?
Homan. Tom Holland is Spider-Man.
Holman.
Homan. Homan.
Got it.
Here's his background. Everybody ready?
Mm-hmm.
Ready.
Okay. Bio, Tom Homan. Let me get his picture for you. Some people don't know what he looks like. There he is. Yeah, this guy's a ball buster, man. He's great. Here's his bio. Let's see. West Carthage, New York. American law enforcement, government official. Extensive experience in immigration. United States Border Patrol in 1984. Jefferson Community with a degree in bachelor's degree for SUNY Polytechnic Institute. Removal operations at U.S. Immigration. He was in ICE. He was in the Obama administration. He was the director of ICE for Obama. Believes in a zero tolerance policy. Believes in deportation. He worked on the Heritage Foundation. Worked with the Heritage Foundation with Project 2025. Yeah. He's been labeled the border czar. He got the Presidential Rank Award as a distinguished executive in 2015. So, Liv, give us the list.
Leadership.
Leadership. Yep. Anti-establishment.
Yep.
What's the third one?
Multitasker and accomplished.
Sounds like he's multitasker and accomplished.
How in the world did he serve on the Obama administration?
Because Obama completely knocked the fuck, and it was the exporter and deporter in chief. He was horrible. Let's see. Who did you say you wanted to do?
No.
Kristi Noem.
Yeah.
Kristi Noem, current governor of South Dakota, would oversee several national security departments. History. Last one. Bio. Raised on a family's ranch and farm in North Hamlin County. Father died in 1994 in an accident. She completed her education, earning a BA in poli-sci at South Dakota. Political career became the House of Representatives when she served from 7 to 11. District U.S. House of Representatives from 11 to 19. Elected 33rd governor of South Dakota. She created national attention for her conservative policies and handling of COVID-19 pandemic, notably resisting statewide mask mandates and lockdowns. She also faced scrutiny over her daughter's real estate appraiser license acquisition, blah, blah, blah. Selected by Trump for Homeland Security Secretary. Do the list, Liv.
Leadership.
Yep.
Yep. Anti-establishment.
Yeah. Yep.
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 Multitasker and accomplished.
Yep. Okay, so now that we know what he's hiring for, and you can go through everybody because I've already done it, and the answer is those are the most common. Why would you want people who are proven leaders? Why would you want people who are anti-establishment? And why would you want people who can do multiple things to get things done? Yes, my Mac is an AI model. Why, Thomas? Just send me the. Yes, it's the top of it's the best Mac you can buy. It is the best Mac you can buy. Go ahead.
Well, one, anti-establishment. He wants to make sure people are going to be with him and not. They've got a record that shows that they're not going to fold, and go with the norm or go with bribes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anti-establishment, that is Trump's whole thing. That's so he wants to surround himself with people that think like him, like-minded.
Yep. So, Leroy, what's your take?
Well, as you're going through that list, the first thing that comes to mind is when I'm trying to assemble a team, it's nice to be able to already have players on the team that know that they all already have a common goal, right? They're all effective team players within their respective fields. They're all effective of what they've already done. So they already have the same goal. They're all highly motivated, and so I think what I see what you're getting at is that he is assembling a team um to get those policy changes down, that he knows that these people are going to be able to take a wrecking ball to what they need to. Nobody's going to stand in their way.
He's developed a team to burn it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's developed multitasking, and multi-switching is so very, very important in what they're about to do, because not only do they have to recognize and be able to do their job, they have to oversee other people's jobs. So they have to be a success. They have to be a proven leader. They have to hit the ground running on day one. They have to be people, what I was, a fixer. That was my job. The only reason I was successful in retail is of two reasons. One is that I was a fixer. There was no problem I couldn't fix. There was no market I couldn't fix. You put me in the market, within 6 months, it's going to be a top 5 market in the entire company. Olivia can tell you. Every company I've ever went to, it was last. I turned it into a top 5 every time. And how I do that is I fired everybody. I didn't keep one person. Everybody went. And the reason why everyone went is because nobody stood up and stopped them from being last. So all leadership was canned or demoted. And then I started working with the rank and file, and I started building relationships and moving them up. But it was me just going into a place and saying, hi, my name is Matthew Spear. I'm your new district manager. How are you? Please get your shit and get out. You're fired. What? I thought you're fired. Leave. That's what it was. And I don't care. It's business. If you're ranked number 56 in a company out of 57 stores, you need to go. So he wants people who are going to go in and assess the talent and get rid of the people who need to go. You have to be a multitasker. You have to know how to delegate. You have to know how to run people. He's hiring people who essentially now just listen to me. Everybody close your eyes, because I'm going to tell you, and it's going to unlock for you. And you're going to be like, holy fuck. I get it now. Are you ready? I'm serious. Hosts, ready. Kitty, everybody, close your eyes. Olivia, Leroy, close your eyes. I want you to think of all those people right now. And I want you to think of 25 seasons of Apprentice. Could you imagine every single one of those people winning The Apprentice?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
There it is. That's what he's doing. He's hiring CEOs. He's bringing in people who are absolutely bulls. He's bringing in people who are decisive, who have absolutely one vision that's aligned, and they all have commonalities. That's it. That's what he's doing.
A clear vision is going to be key to this. So it would not shock me. I mean, obviously, he's had conversations with these people in the past. He has called every one of these people to have that conversation. Hey, the Democrats hate you. Do you know why? They're gonna bounce those ideas off of each other. They're gonna have those kind of heartfelt conversations. And if so and so gives up the right responses, they're probably going to get tapped.
And I want to you're absolutely right. And I want to make sure people are like, he's not running The Apprentice right now. What I'm saying is there's a reason he used the model for Apprentice, for the same person won The Apprentice every single time. And they all had these attributes. This is what you do as a CEO. He didn't do this in 16. He hired people who people told him he needed. No, he's hiring executives. He's hiring leaders. He's doing what he knows how to do. This is what I would do. These are the people I would hire. Now, you ask why Matt Gaetz? Because he fits the mold. You ask why Kristi Noem? She fits the mold. You ask why Doug Bergram? He fits the mold. Pete Hegseth fits the mold. Elon Musk fits the mold. They all fit the mold.
Someone has a question.
And I will in a second. And his model is Elon Musk. Because look what Elon did. Highly intelligent, extremely motivated, multifaceted, runs multi-companies, goes into Twitter, cuts them by 75%, fires everybody, takes on and sleeps inside the Twitter headquarters to get the job done. This is why Elon is on his right shoulder. This is why Vivek is on his left shoulder.
They're hyper performers.
They're hyper performers. They're hyper alpha performers. This is what you hire. Watch what is going to happen. The fact that people are saying in the FDA, we're going to quit, you know what they're doing right now? Less work. Quit. See ya. You're just going to trim the fat. They know the writing's on the wall. This is the prescription that he's delivering. This is the RX script. And we have been told to take 2 Tylenol and all of these people and call us in the morning. And they are going to go to work. Yeah.
There's also a very big element of this that suggests that any of the prior administrations or anybody who's been doing government work for some time, when they got the shoulder tap on the first administration for Trump to come in and work, they may have been under this assumption of, oh, well, I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do what I was already doing. And if anybody who's worked in the government, we know that it's not very efficient. If you were one of those people, those were the people that he fired on the first go around. He didn't retain any of them. And so what he seems to have a really great eye for, a keen talent for, is picking out those hyper performers. The people that had just been sitting around with their thumb up their ass, right? They're in the unemployment line. But if you were willing to put forth the work and to really, give Trump what he wanted, they stuck around.
Yeah, and not just that, but he hired very few people from his first administration, folks. Most of these people are behind the scenes. So he's not putting Nikki Haley back on the sticks. He's not putting Mike Pompeo. Yeah, he's not putting Mike Pompeo on. So when people ask me, well, geez, Matt, that's what he promised to do. I'm just telling you what he's hiring for. You asked me why Matt Gaetz. You asked me why Pete Hegseth. The other thing is that they are young and energetic. Elon Musk plays Diablo. RFK looks like a fucking bodybuilder. They're healthy. They're energetic. They're passionate. They're driven. They're charismatic people. All the people that Donald Trump loves. Donald Trump is now in charge. And we're going to find out if that's a good thing. He's going to clean house. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Confirmation is already started. Confirmation has already begun. Right now, they're doing background checks. They're doing the whole thing. It just starts the process.
Did you see Janet's question? You popped it up on screen.
Yes, she can. Again. Yeah, no, I got it. Donald Trump, everyone serves at the pleasure of the president minus the Fed, minus Supreme Court justices. Lifetime appointments are usually not touchable. The FBI, there is no contract. It's FBI is a lifetime appointment. So Christopher Wray, his resignation, understand this. An old adage that kind of stopped, and it really kind of stopped with Obama, is that if you are hired, you fill out your intent letter, which is your intent to accept the position, and you write your resignation at the same time. That used to be a thing, and they would keep it on file. And you would get called into the White House, and the president would say, I want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you what you've done for your country. However, I want your resignation on my desk by 4 o'clock. And the whole adage behind that is you serve at the pleasure of the president. Every single person can be fired unless it's a lifetime appointment, like Supreme Court, unless it's a separate branch. He can't go fire a senator. He can't fire a state legislature. Can he fire the vice president? Does anyone know the answer to that question?
We had that one last show.
Just Tell
that
me.
was no. He cannot. He can
Cannot-
ask him to resign, but he can't force him to.
He can make it really, really hard. He can move forward with impeachment proceedings. He can ask the Senate to the state legislature and the Senate to move forward with impeachment proceedings. He can ask for his resignation, and he can also invoke the 25th Amendment and ask his cabinet to do so.
There was, along with Janet's question, there was another question that's kind of along the same lines. Can he get rid of Blinken, Kerry, Newland, and Ray?
Okay, time out. I want to clarify something. FBI director. FBI director it's no longer lifetime. I think that stopped with Hoover. Or G. Gordon Liddy. It was Liddy. So I think it's 10 years. Yes, because Ray came on in 2017 under Trump. So if it says 2027, yes, I apologize. He can still ask for his resignation.
Blinken, Kerry, Newland.
Did you say a Blinken?
Yes, and Ray.
Ray, we have already said he's FBI director.
Okay, gotcha.
Who else? Blinken?
Blinken, Kerry, Newland.
Blinken is what? Secretary of State?
I don't know.
Yes, he can ask for his resignation, but he's not going to be Secretary of State. Who's next?
Kerry.
He's not going to be there either.
Newland.
He's not going to be there either.
Okay. Can he appoint the CIA director?
Yes. Okay. He does appoint the CIA director. He's already has Ratcliffe as the CIA director. He's already assigned the CIA director.
Has he gotten a press secretary yet?
Yes. He got Lorraine, she's the his national spokesperson. I just put her name up. What the hell is it? Oh, no, it's not Lorraine. It's Caroline. Caroline something.
Give a picture.
Caroline. Yeah, Caroline. I think it's Levitt. Yeah, Caroline Levitt. That's her name. There's a picture.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, Caroline
Yeah, she's
Levitt.
very
Right.
pretty. She reminds me a little bit of Kayleigh McEnany.
Yeah. Yeah, and Pam from Florida, Dottie, but I don't remember.
Our
Pam.
phone line's open.
Who wants to call?
Mel.
No, not for her. Anybody else? We got a lot to cover, but it is Friday. I'm probably going to stand a little bit. And so that exercise, I apologize if it was a little confusing. Honey, if I was short, I'm sorry. You know what happens when I go red. It's business, and I'm sorry. This isn't a fucking boardroom. I apologize if I was short, okay? But that really was a stupid question. I'm just saying.
What was the stupid question?
We need to go ahead and list their picks. What picks?
I said,
their
what am I
lotto
comparing
numbers.
to? I didn't say what picks. I said to what? Comparing to what?
You need to yell.
You got to give me something. You can't say, what are you comparing to?
I give you more than something, baby. Leroy.
Does everything have to turn to sex to you?
Yes.
That's
Can I show
the
you
way
what
it works.
I'm like, do you think we'd be with you for any other reason? This is what I want to show you.
And Fonnie Willis.
Do you want to know why he wants Matt Gaetz? Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, maybe you've seen this, maybe you can't. I was
Chomping
just
at the
teasing.
bit.
Oh, by the
God,
way,
Matt
folks,
Gaetz is eye-watering. Ugh.
Isn't he? He just looks like a
God,
fucking.
I just want to buy
The
a
hair.
$3,500 Nissan from him. You know?
Folks, really quick. Show goal. We are only halfway there. It's 8:30. I usually don't bring this up if I don't have to, but looks like we're going to have to. We have a goal. Facebook has demonetized our live ads. We don't do recorded shows anymore because they don't pay us for it. And honestly, we don't get any traction. We rely on you. We rely on our good friends over at Wimkin to help us out. And every night we have a goal of $250. If you guys understood what it costs to stream and produce the show and get all this going on, it's a lot. So if you have the ability, and here's what we know. Right now we've got over 200 and something on. If everyone gave $1, we would have a great night. It'd be an amazing night. It'd be a huge night. Some say the best night ever. If everyone gave $5, it would change our lives. If everyone gave $10, we'd be ecstatic. Not everyone can. So what we ask is that once you take care of your family, you got Christmas plans taken care of. You got your Vonheim Steamroller tickets. You've got Christmas
Vonheim?
Whatever it is. What
Mannheim
is it? Vonheim?
Steamroller. And it's Trans-Siberian Orchestra is the one you want to go to.
Whatever those douche plows are. Whatever those long-haired hippies. Fuck. So anyway, if you got that taken care of, you got your Christmas presents taken care of, you got all that taken care of, maybe you can look down and say, hey, you know what? Got a little extra. We love the Dumb Show. We watch it all the time. Or this is your first time. That Matt guy's a real jerk, but we like Olivia. Leroy's okay. Let's go ahead and take care of him, and we would appreciate it. You can go to thedumbshow.com/donate. I will show you this cool thing. Leroy hasn't had a chance to see it yet. This is our new feature, and boy, is it cool. You can actually grab your little phone and grab your digits, and you can go to thedumbshow.com. You simply type it right up in here, dumbshow.com, and you hit enter winter, and there you are. You are on the Dumb Show. You can do some shopping over there. You can pick up hats. You can go ahead and get some clothing if you want to, like the new Yenny hoodie. You can click on it right there and say, hey, I want to go buy the new Yenny hoodie. Here it is. You can go ahead and decide what color you want. Go, oh, navy or vintage black or forest green. All right, then I want to get it in 2XL. And you go ahead and add it right there. Real cool feature. Next thing you can go ahead and do is go to thedumbshow.com/donate. And when you do, you can go to PayPal. You can go ahead and mail something in, or you can use Venmo. We've got all those options. Great thing is you just go, all right, I want to donate. You click here. You go to PayPal, you can pick $10, $50, $100. Hell, you can even come down here and say, I want to put in $10,000 and watch me shit a purple Twinkie. I will shit a purple Twinkie if you do that. And it's real simple, folks. That's how you do it. A cool feature of our new computer is that I can bring my phone in and show you how to do it live, just in case you are, having problems and trying to figure it out. Now we can show you. What do you think of that, Leroy? Isn't that neat?
That is neat. And by the way, the Leroy Jenkins shirt is really kind of reserved for those alpha males. So don't really plan on buying that one unless you want to strap on an additional, 10 or so testosterone points.
And the Olivia Pot Pie t-shirt, there's no sexism involved there. You can wear it if you're a man or a woman.
Yeah,
totally.
and
you
if
can buy that.
And he's absolutely right. And the Leroy shirt is actually in the woman's section, so you might want to go ahead and take a look and make sure so you can find it over there. Oh, and the pot pie shirt is bitch get back in the kitchen section. So both of those are available for you. Do you know nobody's ever asked for a Matt shirt? Nobody. Not once.
You haven't made one.
Nobody's asked for one.
Wonder why that is.
Everyone wants, fuck you, Leroy. Everybody wants a Leroy shirt. Everybody wants an Amy shirt. Everybody wants an Ethan and Olivia shirt.
Well, they need to make an all of us shirt.
Nobody wants a Matt shirt. It's fine. Nobody wants to look like, okay, that's cool. It's all right. You don't want to see my muscles.
I don't need a shirt. I get you every day. I get the real thing.
You sure do, baby. You sure do.
Do orders, hey, good question. Hang on. Let me get back to it. Do orders ship a week after purchase is made? I placed one last Saturday.
Who is it?
Jen McCarver. Excuse me. The tail was in the way.
Did you order a single book?
Shirt. Oh. What did you order? Oh, maybe she did. That name sounds familiar from last night.
Can you, fucking cat. Can you ask her real quick? I'll look it up for her.
Jen. Could you please
let me know? Can you spell
it?
Is it Jeanne?
Jenn. Jen.
Oh, I haven't seen a Jen. Let me take. Oh, I've seen McCarver for sure. I'll let you know.
Yes.
Okay, so usually all orders, they've been fulfilled. Your coffee was sent out on Thursday, and it will be there Monday by 9:00 at night. Your Constitution book we sent out last night. It should be there Monday as well, if not Tuesday. Your Veterans First shirt, hat, and Dumb Nation jacket, those take a little bit longer, but they have been sent out. Oh, you're in Spring. Do we know you, Jennifer? We're from Spring.
No, we're from Tomball.
It's the same fucking thing. Spring, Tomball, Texas. Come on. Cut me some slack. Dispatch to carrier. It's predicted to show up by the 18th or 19th. The jacket takes a little bit because it's stitched. So everything is in progress, and everything is going to be there by Thursday of next week, it looks like. We have impeccable service. Usually takes 5 to 7 days to get to us. But my wife's right. We were in Tomball, but it's Spring Tomball, Texas.
And the coffee is fresh. He doesn't make your bag of coffee till he
I have had
doesn't
that
roast the
coffee. It's
beans
damn good.
until he gets the order. So that's why it takes a few days for the coffee.
Yeah, Penny says, I didn't think about this, but Penny's right. She says, it's because we just couldn't handle all that manliness on a shirt. That's a good point.
or you can get Mel's 1-800-WHAM.
That makes you sound like you're a Clinton.
Hey, I turned the phone lines on you for you, Mel. I just turned them off. How about that?
Oh, goodness me.
Fucking Canada. Nobody wants to have
Canada.
someone rub their feet on it.
What?
Why would somebody rub their feet on my shirt? Are you making fun of my foot fetish? I've got a foot fetish. It's not a big secret. I've already
Really?
openly admit. Fuck yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know why. I've got a butt fetish too. I've got a tit fetish too. I got an
Who doesn't
everything
have that?
fetish. I've got an everything fetish. Listen, I think a woman should be worshipped. Every part of her. 100%. You know? It's just there's nothing on my wife that I don't adore and love. Except her fucking mouth sometimes. That's
I beg to differ on that one.
Oh yeah, not that. No, yeah, oh yeah. Sorry, when sound comes out, when you're like this, that's perfect. That's perfect. But when you can actually talk, it's like, oh god.
It reminds me of that Green Jelly song, House of Teenage Rave. Remember that?
Oh Jesus!
You ever heard that one?
I have not. Mel is calling in. Mel, welcome, Mel. Yeah, pack your bags. We're going on a guilt trip. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I can't hear her if...
Oh, let me fix that. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
Fix her audio. Okay. Sorry, folks. I haven't set it up since. Thanks for telling me, by the way, man. Appreciate you. That always helps.
I got you.
Okay, Mel, try it again.
My question was, what's going to
Can you guys
happen
hear?
now with the governors and the senators and
Can you guys
House
hear?
reps that are now being appointed?
Yep.
Can you hear me?
Good now.
Okay, now, Mel, go ahead now, and now you can hear. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. What's going to happen now with the governors and senators and congressmen that have been appointed? What happens next in the scheme of things? Is it safe that these Republican governors, et cetera, are going to get replaced by Republicans, or is it going to be a shit show?
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to roll next. And that was my question.
Yep, I'll answer it. Amy says, I picture Matt with a shirt that has them flaps at the bottom, so when you flip it up, you know? No, I don't know. What the hell are you talking about? I don't know what that means. I know in our Navy outfits we have a flap on our dress blues, but we call that a Marine Corps serving platter. So I'm not sure. Mel got it. Mel got it, girl. Mel got it. All right. So here's what it comes down to. Let's take, for instance, Walls, right? Walls is in a +20 district. So they won't even put up opposition against him. He'll run uncontested. So they'll have a special election. They'll put a Republican forward, unless he's a complete dipshit and comes out like he was in the Klan or something. They'll save that seat. Elise Stefanik is in a +15 district. They might throw up a candidate, try to run against her, but obviously it's probably not going to do any good. So she will be a special election. Now, when you go ahead and you take somebody like Matt Gaetz, the nice thing is that people are like, oh shit, Matt Gaetz is gone. Well, here's the cool thing. With Matt Gaetz, he actually will only be out 1 day. So when everything changes hand on the 20th, the House, Ron DeSantis can appoint a new state legislature that can fill in Matt Gaetz' spots, because that's the way that state works. And it will only be 1 day after they take over and switch to the new freshman Congress and Senate. So that's no big deal. There are some that will take a little bit longer, and they'll be down votes until they get those seats refilled. Now, it is a risk sometimes, and special elections have gone awry, and it does happen. But in this case, If you lose a seat, it's not going to destroy the House because we do have a buffer, and we will have a buffer by the time all the election settles. And in the Senate, we do have plus 53 plus 1, which is like 54 because of J.D. Vance. And those seats are fairly easy to go ahead and backfill simply because Senate usually goes one way, and it's been one way. Usually they don't flip very often. But in this case, a special election, it can be governor assigned, or they will go ahead and backfill during a situation like Matt Gaetz, which will be done by the governor and then will be a day later. So that's pretty much it. Governor is actually will be a special election.
Okay. Yeah. No. Cool.
Yeah, but you're not going to get another governor in North Dakota. I mean, it's the Dakotas, for gosh sakes. Wait, you guys can't hear her?
No, we can hear her.
No, they're saying, hold on, everyone time out. They're saying they can't hear Mel. Can you guys not hear Mel?
All right, Kevin, let me know if you can hear Mel.
Yeah,
that way it's just one person.
Because what happens is, and make sure you've been in the room for a while. So sometimes people just come in and they say, I can't hear her. If that's the case, I gotta work. I can hear. Okay, everyone can hear Mel. All right, good.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway, what else, Mel?
Is Burgum still not governor, or is he out?
He's out. He is out, and he officially needs to. He is going to be doing. I want to say it's Interior Secretary, Secretary of the Interior. But let me find out for you. They've announced. White Communications Director has been announced. They've announced quite a few tonight.
Yeah, I wish Sage Steele would be the press secretary. I think she would be awesome, but I don't think that's going to happen. But anyways, she would be awesome, because Sage wouldn't take any crap from the press corps or whatever and stand in there and let him have it. My other is
real quick. Let me answer your question. Doug Burgum is going to be in the Interior Department. Laura Trump is going. She's not running for Matt's spot. She's going to. Ron DeSantis will put her in Matt's spot. Florida doesn't require a special election.
I heard she was running for possibly Senate, Rubio's spot, not Congress.
That's either one of them. Whatever the spot is, she's going to be in there. So you've got Rubio and you've got Matt Gaetz. So it very well could be Senate. It very well could be state legislator. Not sure. I don't know Florida's law. If senators, I'm pretty sure senators can't be assigned by governor. But I'm not positive about that. I believe state legislature can be. It's under their purview. I think Senate, she would have to go into a special election, but I'm not 100% sure about that. Go ahead, Mel.
Didn't California didn't Newsom appoint somebody for Feinstein?
Yep. Yep. California, you can do that too. Governors usually have the power to, but she is a senator. So those were a little bit different situations. I think it's because that her term was coming up. There's also rules about that. If their term was in a certain period of time, the governor can, but if they have so many years left in their service, they can't. So for instance, if they're over the halfway point or within an election year, governor can go ahead and assign an interim. But if they're year 2 out of 6, I believe they have to do special election. But I don't have all the fine points, but that's my understanding.
I think Leroy would be good sitting next to Shifty Schiff and go, okay, little dude, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I think that's
I want her in office for sure. She's solid. But I also like her for the RNC. What else?
True.
Kid?
And she did a good job. And your take on Kash Patel is apparently going to replace Christopher Wray?
I don't like Kash Patel.
Yeah, I got that feeling, whatever, but that seems to be the way it's going. So maybe you can put that in your mix, in your little analogy of government, like your whatever, to see how that's going to roll. I don't like
election deniers. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I know. I'm not a fan of that pick, but yeah, I just wanted to get your take. Anyways, I've taken up enough of you guys' time. Thank you for letting me chat. And
it's good to hear from you, Mel.
You betcha, Leroy. Olivia, take care.
Thanks,
and
Mel.
I chat
Love
again
ya.
soon.
Thanks, Mel. Talk soon, buddy. So listen, people ask me why I don't like Kash Patel because I don't think he doesn't check the box of those three things. The three things that we talked about. I think he's a holdover from Trump's 2016 run. I know Trump likes him. I know a lot of people like him. I just don't. He rubs me the wrong way.
I get it.
He rubs me the wrong way. I think he's a weasel. He seems like a weasel. I could be wrong. Maybe I need to spend more time listening to him. But the stuff I've heard, I don't like the stolen election shit. I think he gave Trump bad advice. I think it hurt Trump. I don't like that stuff. Go ahead.
He definitely just seems like somebody who was latching onto a movement for the sake of trying to get his name out there into multiple people so that he could get more clicks. That's what I got the vibe.
You want to know what I don't like about him? And I'll just tell you right now, I just remembered. He is the one that said that Donald Trump can declassify all levels of intelligence. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that, although I think that was an honest mistake. I think he was just ignorant.
No. He worked Intel, buddy. No, not at all. That's 100. He has stood up on the rooftops and said Donald Trump can declassify anything he wants as president. That, brother, I promise you, I would not make that statement if it was a one-off. And Kash Patel has, go to his bio real quick. So this is what he's done.
He is.
Yeah, it's okay. I'll show you a picture in a sec.
He was on Newsmax, right? Is that it?
1980, Garden City, New York. American attorney, former government official. He had clearance. He was born in India. Went to law school. National Security Council senior director of counterterrorism. So his clearance was solid. He was office director of DNI. He was principal deputy acting director and Department of Defense, chief of staff and acting secretary of defense. So, and people are like, how do you know? Kash Patel knows. You don't? You think you know more than Kash Patel? In this case, I do.
In this case.
That's what I said in this case. He stood up there and gave bad information and said that Donald Trump can declassify anything he wants, including top secret and SCI. That is not true. That is a blatant 100% lie. Donald Trump can go ahead and request the DOD and DOJ to redact it, or the intel source where it was collected, to ensure that collection assets are protected. Then go ahead and be approved to release the information. There are no clauses. There are no clauses. No, there's not. No. Nope. There are no clauses. What clauses? Where? In the Constitution? No. He cannot declassify TSI or TSSCI at will. He cannot. You want to know how I know? No, let me tell him how I know. Did he remember when he said he couldn't release the Kennedy assassination files? There you go. End of story. Remember when he said he couldn't go ahead and release certain things on Area 51 and John F. Kennedy assassination? There you go. If he could, he would have. Leroy, go ahead.
Well, everything you just said, absolutely. But also, if you're the president, the sitting president, and you're going to try to have a piece of information declassified, depending on its security clearance, if it's high enough, TSSCI, you actually have to go back to the originating agency. You have to go to somebody called an OCA, the Original Classification Authority, and you have to get them to sign off on it. And likely what they would have to do is go through the document, redact the shit out of it, and then they can release it. But he can't do it on his own. He has to go through the originating agency.
Now, I want to be clear when I say this so everyone understands. You have to run it through and scrub it. There's three things that you're looking for. That there is no classified nuclear information. You want to make sure that no international assets are exposed. And then you have to go through procedural norms. It's okay, Melanie. I'm sorry, Melanie. I didn't mean to jump down your shit. Once again, I can't see your reply. So those, and what Leroy's referring to is procedural norms. And procedural norms are if there is TSSCI SCI, compartmentalized information, the president can declassify it, but he must go through a processes. He can't just sit up there and go, here we go. I was reading an intel briefing, and let's see, MI6, and let's see, Mossad. They just killed an Iranian prince. Holy shit, I guess good for them. He can't do that. He has to go through the process. He has to go through the procedural norms. Kash Patel said he can declassify anything he wants. And as the director of the following, whether it's National Security Council, whether he was DNI or he stood in for Department of Defense, he should know better. And that rubbed me the wrong way. And I'll be honest, that's about, besides the J6 stolen election, that's about all I know about him. So I need to do a favor. I need to learn more about him and give him the benefit of the doubt, because I trust Trump's picks. And if he thinks Kash Patel is going to be, but I'll tell you what, he probably would have named FBI director when he named CIA director. I think he's hesitant on Kash a little bit. Okay. We'll see. I could be wrong. Dan Bongino speaks highly about Kash. Dan Bongino speaks highly about a few people who I'm not big fans of. It doesn't mean that Dan Bongino says it that I'm going to be like, yep. I know a lot of people speak highly of Kash Patel, but I know a lot of people speak highly of Rudy Giuliani. I know people speak highly of Steve Bannon. I know there's people who speak highly of Alex Jones. It doesn't mean that I agree with them, right? So I will do my due diligence. I will study a little bit more about Kash Patel. He's a very smart guy. He's very knowledgeable. Seems fairly likable. I did not like the information that he got in regards to and what he said about declassification. I think that sets President Trump up for failure. I think it hurt him, and I think he got some bad information. Okay,
that's fair.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So I'll look into it a little bit more. I think Larry Kudlow. You can expect to see Larry Kudlow back. And in some form or another, when he gets to finance and he gets to treasury and stuff, I think Larry Kudlow is somebody we're going to hear about. Don't be shocked if Judge Jeanine is tapped for something. What that would be? That would be awesome. Yeah, I think she has the ability to come in. And I don't know exactly where you would want to put her, but I still think Mike Rowe is a huge pick.
Yanni agrees.
I would like. Well, Roxanne, we're having a conversation. Roxanne, what happened? It's gone. I deleted it. It's gone. It'll never be shown on this program ever again, Roxanne. I'll never show it. Nope. Sorry, because we're talking about something else. We're gonna get to it. I've got it. We're going to get to everything tonight. If I got to stay until 10 o'clock, we'll watch the damn video. It's next. Trying to think about anybody else. I do think Larry Kudlow, when he starts doing Secretary of Treasury, I think when he starts doing economic advisors, stuff like that, you're going to see Larry Kudlow come in. And then Jeanine, I don't know. I see her doing something. I don't know what it is. But he did pick his communications director. He's an Asian guy, and I don't remember his damn name. If anybody remembers it, let me know. Okay, let's watch this. I will try to find the communications director. But right now, Roxanne's just I'm getting nasty grams from her. She's sending me texts that are, I can't believe she said that to me. It's mean. Here's Roxanne and her video from Matt Gaetz, which is exceptional. This is why Matt Gaetz was picked as AG.
No sound.
Yeah, I forgot. So I got to go fix that inside my settings. Thank you for telling me. Easy fix. Here it is.
You can clear it all up for us right now. Will the Department of Justice provide to the committee all documents, all correspondence between the department and Alvin Bragg's office and Fonnie Willis's office and Letitia James's office?
The offices you're referring to are independent offices of state.
I get that. The question is whether or not you will provide all of your documents and correspondence. That's the question. I don't need a history lesson.
Well, I'm going to say again, We do not control those offices. They make their own
The question is whether you
decisions.
communicate with them, not whether you control them. Do you communicate with them, and will you provide those communications?
You make a request, we'll refer it to our Office of Legislative Affairs.
But see, here's the thing.
They
You
will
come in
respond
here and you
appropriately.
lodge this attack that it's a conspiracy theory, that there is coordinated lawfare against Trump. And then when we say, fine, just give us the document.
Real quick, people are asking the question, well, Matt, what about the governor? You said the governor is the president of the states. Governor's different. Governor is not a special election. Governor follows a chain of command because the governor is like the president. He has a lieutenant governor. And then from like lieutenant governor, it goes to president pro tempore of the Senate, Speaker of the House, Representative, Secretary of State. State auditor would be picked in. Treasurer would then be the next in line. There's a line of succession. And then it goes to stupid shit like superintendents and like the attorney general, and it goes down the line of succession. But just like the president, there's a line of succession with governors. They are the president of the state. Got it? Cool.
Give us the correspondence, and then if it's a conspiracy
Yes, Doug Collins went to Veterans Affairs, which is outstanding.
theory, that will be evident. But when you say, well, we'll take your request, and then we'll sort of work it through the DOJ's accommodation process.
Mom, how are we doing on donations? Anything new?
Nope, not
Folks, we're getting our butt kicks tonight. Will be the first night we have not hit goal. This is night 28 in a row. We've hit it for 8 months of hitting the entire month, but we have done nightly donations. We're a little bit shy tonight. We're at 136. We got a whole bunch of people watching. I know you're enjoying the show or you would have left. And if you have the ability to help us out, folks, I understand. You look at it and go, wow, that's a lot of money. I don't have 120 some odd dollars. We're not asking for that. If you have a little bit of something to help us out, it pays the bills. It keeps the lights on. These shows are expensive to run. A lot of shows don't ask you because they've got corporations and commercials and all of that. We don't do that type of stuff. We're funded by you, your investors, your plank owners in the Don't Unfriend Me show. If you could help us out, we'd greatly appreciate it by going to thedumshow.com/donate and help Leroy get his toupee. We're working on it.
Then you're actually
That's what we
advancing
need.
the very dangerous conspiracy theory that you're concerned about. Now, you were a judge, once nominated the highest court in our country. When you were a judge, I'm just curious, did you ever make political donations to partisan candidates?
No.
No, and you didn't because that would create the potential appearance of impropriety.
I didn't because there's a federal rule
Oh.
barring federal judges from making contributions.
Right, but under that same theory of attacks on the judicial process, like, shouldn't someone be owed like a jury of their peers and a judge that's non-biased rather than getting a judge from your political opponent's donor file?
I'm well aware that you're not asking a hypothetical. You're asking me to comment on a jury verdict in another jurisdiction which has to be respected. I won't comment on it. That case is still ongoing. The defendant
Mr. Attorney General, I hadn't asked you about the verdict yet. We were getting there. I was talking about the judge. And so let me ask you this question about your time as a judge. Was there ever a time when you were a judge when you had a family member who was personally profiting off of the notoriety of a case that was before your court?
I'm going to say again, it's very clear you're asking me to comment on a case in another jurisdiction.
No, wait, hold on, Mr. Attorney General. Did you ever have a family member profit off of the notoriety of any case that you sat over?
Say again, you're asking
Yes or no?
You're asking me to comment on a case currently.
Well, it seems you're
before
connecting the
another
dots,
court.
Mr. Attorney General. I'm just asking you as to a general
Just
principle.
walking right into
but
it.
you are aware that Judge Merchan's daughter was profiting off of this prosecution. You are aware that that creates the appearance of impropriety. You know the very reason there's a federal rule against judges giving donations is because it is the very attack on the judicial process that we're concerned about.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything you just said, but I'm not going to comment on a.
Okay,
on an
so you
action
won't
in
comment on it,
another
Mr.
court.
Attorney General, but you had no problem dispatching Matthew Colangelo. Who's Matthew Colangelo?
That is false. I did not dispatch Matthew Colangelo.
Matthew
That's
Colangelo,
false.
Matthew
False.
Colangelo became the Assistant Attorney General at the very beginning of the Biden administration. Without having been Senate confirmed, goes and gets this senior role at the DOJ, and then after, I believe it's Gupta replaces Colangelo, Colangelo makes this remarkable downstream career journey from the U.S. Department of Justice in Washington, D.C., and then pops up in Alvin Bragg's office to go get Trump. And you're saying that's just a career choice that was made that has nothing to do with the lawfare coordinated by the
Saying
DOJ.
it's false. I did not dispatch Mr. Colangelo anywhere.
Well, do you know how he ended up there?
I assume he he applied for a job there and got the job.
But see, you know
I
what?
can tell you I had
Thank you, Jennifer.
nothing to do with it.
Well, you might not have had anything to do with it, but we've got this contemporaneous evidence in Mr. Pomerantz's book. So Pomerantz writes this book, which I'm sure you're aware of, where he says, we put together the legal eagles to get Trump. We got all these folks together and we assembled them for that purpose. And so when we on the Judiciary Committee think about attacks on the judicial process,
Thank you, Amy.
our concern is that the facts and the law aren't being followed. A target is acquired, here, Trump, and then you assemble the legal talent from DOJ, Mr. Pomerantz, and you bring everybody in to get him. And meanwhile, the judge is making money on it. The judge is making money on it, or the judge's family's making money on it for stuff that you yourself wouldn't do. You know, no one's going to buy this. No one's going to believe it. It's going to create great disruption.
Thank you,
And I'm
Melanie,
sad
very
about it
much.
because, like you, I have given my life to the law. I care deeply about the law.
Roxanne, thanks for keeping me honest. It's a good video, and I appreciate it. And it's important to know why
And I think
he's
that-
picked. He's a bulldog. That's why.
Yeah.
Now the
You can
question
see that
is,
you can see the level of attack when he's sitting on, on the panel there. You can see that there's no letting back. Like he's just trying to rip the Band-Aid off so that all of that, everything that is normally covered up as much as humanly possible by the Democrats, all of that is supposed to be exposed. And that's what he's working towards. I really like that.
yeah, and I do too. Thank you so much, Ashley. Thank you, everyone who has donated. We're gonna finish up. We got a lot.
There's a couple of questions.
Yeah, let's throw them out there real quick, folks. We are $25 away. Just FYI. Go ahead, Liv.
Jane was wondering about the phone company response to the House about FBI testimony on J6. Any idea?
No.
Okay.
I wasn't tracking.
It's not gonna matter anyway, because as soon as we do get a director of FBI that's halfway decent, we're gonna find out everything we want to know, and we have an attorney general who's not gonna block it. You guys, everything you want to know has the ability to come out. It's just a matter of if, and if it doesn't, it's on Trump, nobody else, because he's replacing everybody who could block him from doing it. Got it? Go ahead. Thank you, Paul. Another question, Liv?
No, just something near for the end of the show.
What?
Somebody messaged me. I'll say it at the end of the show.
Okay. He's a pit bull, but this is what we need from Gates is we need to show that he's not just a pit bull, that he can only bring it out when absolutely necessary. He hasn't been able to demonstrate that yet. We have to find out that he can work well and play nice with others. And he has to do this committee hearing, and I want him to leash the pit bull until absolutely necessary. And when you have Democrats coming at you hard and fast, you defend yourself fervently, calmly, and unemotional until it's not required anymore. You have to have patience. You cannot go in there and treat everyone like you did with Garland with contempt. You're not going to get confirmed. You have to prove them wrong. So right now, kill them with a little bit of sugar water, and you can get all the vinegar you want once you get the position. But you got to go earn it. Thank you, Renee.
Brand new donor.
Hey.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Renee Gray, thank you so much. So anyway, that's the point, is Matt Gaetz wants to get confirmed. And this is going to be, in my opinion, the toughest confirmation. Matt Gaetz is not liked by the Senate. And it's because he's a pit bull. And so we need to see him do a little politicking. And whether he is capable of that, I don't know. We're going to find out. Thank you so much, Louise.
Lois,
damn it. Why do I do that? All right, here's a
Lois,
video.
or is it Lewis?
The challenges.
It's Lois. But I always see I messed that up. It's my ADD. I can't fix it. I don't know how to fix that. I try. Like Christine, I see if it's an A or Kristen or Krista, it fucks me up. That's why I don't know why. It just does it. Anyway, watch this video, folks. This is in Pennsylvania, and this is a person on the board on the council who says she's okay with cheating. Here it is.
We reject all three categories of these ballots.
And let me give you a quick. These are rejecting ballots that are essentially they're ballots, but they're not votes because they do not qualify and meet the expectations that have been preordained by the legislature and the federal election commission. Okay, so these are not to be counted. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Lois. Again, not Louise. Lois. Okay, I got it in my head. It took me a while for Dodie, but I got that.
Your motion is to reject or dismiss the challenges in this category in front of you?
Correct, yep.
Not going to second that, mostly because I think we all know that precedent by a court doesn't matter anymore in this country, and people violate laws anytime they want. So for me, if I violate this law, it's because I want a court to pay attention to it.
Wow.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, it's not like you're from Pennsylvania or anything. Scott Jennings. This guy's becoming one of my favorite people of all times. I like Scott Jennings, man. I really freaking like this guy. He needs a talk show. Yeah, Scott, stop doing. Don't go into public office. Don't go do that shit. Go get a podcast. You are exceptional. Listen to this exchange on CNN.
If we're being intellectually honest, there's really no good reason why Bobby Kennedy, RFK Jr., should be HHS secretary. An advisor, a confidant, somebody who talks to the president and advises, but there's no managerial experience in his resume. There's nothing that says he is qualified to do this job that is in charge of the health of all of us, all these different lanes. If he has views and has insights around food sources, around vaccines.
Press secretary has already been decided.
Then those should be given in advisory roles.
Why?
Well, because...
Well, what were the qualifications of the previous ones?
Well, I think it's important to always remember that you put yourself... Say that again?
What were the management qualifications? I mean, Xavier Becerra...
I'm not talking about the previous. I'm looking forward.
But you're calling into question whether he could actually do this job. And I think it's...
Absolutely. I think America is now, and I think
it's important to discuss it because Xavier Becerra was just a lawyer and a politician with no management experience.
So does two negatives, two wrongs make a right?
Sylvia Burwell was a Walmart lobbyist. Donna Shalala was a university person. Look,
RFK Jr. is a nut.
The fact...
That's why.
There it is.
There it is.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't it funny? We all came up with the same thing. By the way, these are your picks. Go fuck yourself. Okay? Now, Leroy can't...
Who's the person on the right?
It's the purse snatcher. That's the person who went through everybody's airport luggage and stole their luggage, and he was removed too. These are officials that were assigned. This is Rachel Levin. His name's Bob. He's a guy. And he's it's Bob. It's fucking Bob.
Admiral Bob.
Nothing's raising on me, including my hand in salute. Trust me. So now we get to the real meat and potatoes, because here it is.
Okay, so that's different than what you just said. You just said he doesn't possess the requisite managerial experience, but then we get to the real issue here, which is you want to insult the man, which is your right to do because you opposed him in the election. But you, Doctor, are raising the issues that he has been raising, and I think they're appropriate questions to raise. I don't know whether he can be confirmed or not. The vaccine stuff at the table is obviously going to be the flashpoint of this hearing. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you one thing.
Sure is.
This whole issue of the CDC and these public health agencies, look, public trust in the health regime in this country is as low as it's ever been.
But why?
It's because of COVID. Right. Because of school closures. Because of mask mandates. Because this country was... But let me just finish. Because this country was drugged through a bunch of condescending and heavy-handed mandates that all turned out to be garbage, and that's why it's low, and the questions are valid.
And RFK is the answer to all of that.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be...
Okay.
All right. I didn't get a lot of the noise out of that. I only heard the frontal attacks on him from the dude to his immediate left.
Yeah. Carolyn Leavitt is the new press secretary for the White House. Okay. Are you guys okay if I take this one real quick? This one is like, and I want to show your video next, Leroy, and then we'll get going.
Yeah.
Are you cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, people. People are struggling to believe in science. And it's your fault, scientists. It's the atheists. It's the agnostics. It's the people who consider religion to be some dogmatic principle. By your arrogance and your elitist attitude of forcing people and trying to get people not to believe in things, that everything that requires faith is the Easter Bunny, is the Tooth Fairy, is a man-loving lesbian, completely figments of our fucking imagination. You have stopped people with the ability to believe what they don't necessarily understand. So when you talk to us about magic vaccines that we have to take 5 times, 6 times, and masks that we have to put 3 on, we have to stand up, sit down, go ahead and walk through plexiglass, have double masks on, wear masks in cars, tell you who's coming into our house, shutting down our businesses but leaving Walmart open. When you do these things, we don't base these things on faith anymore because you don't want us to have faith. And science, no matter what you think, yes, it's deductive, yes, it's logical, but there has to be some that is actually hypotheses. And it is. Some of them are educated guesses. Some of them are just as extravagant as believing in God. By you removing faith, by you making faith diminished and diminutive, has impacted people's faith in scientists, faith in the government. So when you sit here and go, why won't people believe? Why won't they believe in global warming? Why won't they believe in COVID? Why won't they believe in our economic policy? Why won't they believe the polls? Why won't they believe that Donald Trump is a Nazi? Because you've destroyed faith. You've removed our ability to trust. And people who have faith don't trust you, they trust God. And people who have no faith and think that there is no God are now starting to question the things like science and STEM and proven theorem and things that have literally gone unchallenged since the days of Galileo and Da Vinci and Newton. People are starting to challenge. It's your own fucking fault. You could have lived side by side with theology and simply said that religion isn't science, and it's not. And it can stand by biology, psychology, physiology, criminology, the study of. And that's truly what theology is the study of God. But what you decided to do was tell us that God wasn't real. That the Bible wasn't real. That because the Bible is fragmented and sometimes it's a little bit loose in its terms because it's been translated so many times that it is lost in meaning, and that the word of an omnipotent being has been deciphered so many times by flawed sinners that have used it for their advantage or misinterpreted it based upon text that is no longer readily available. That we didn't live with dinosaurs a few thousand years ago, so therefore everything's fictitious. That how can a person live in the belly of a whale, so therefore everything's fictitious. Or because you have not been touched or haven't seen God, that somehow it's fictitious. But we're supposed to believe everything you say. If science wants people to embrace it again, and the younger generation, then you should stop creating skeptics when the answer isn't necessarily readily available, when all the facts aren't gathered yet. You can't disprove God. In fact, science has never been able to accomplish that. And just like God doesn't condemn science and learning and understanding and growth, they can live harmoniously together. So if you want to see people stop questioning this shit and start having a little more faith, maybe you should start with yourselves if you expect it from us, you fuckers. Next. Who wants it? Come on, somebody, take it.
You pretty much answered it all. I'm going to leave it at that.
You know,
no, sorry.
I have watched
the assault on.
Go. Sorry, I fixed it. Sorry, go.
No, you're good. I have watched the Democrat Party pivot on 3 or 4 different points over the last 20 and 30 years. They have pivoted. When law doesn't work, they will try to use science to back up their claim. When science is of no use, they'll go back to law, or then they'll skip right to statistics. And in every one of those cases, they always use those 3 things to slowly chip away at it. It's a war, and the battle is against your personal rights. And I have seen, I can't tell you how many headlines in the last year or so. $10 million lawsuit won against COVID because it was mandatory. The SEALs won one for like 1.8 million. And it's just an ongoing list. So when I'm watching those debates, when I'm watching people go after RFK Jr. and his anti-vaccine kind of stance, and he's not really anti-vaccine. He has said he's not, but he doesn't want to force it on everyone, and that's a very big difference. So when I hear that, I just think to myself, why are you fighting this?
Yeah.
You have already lost the precedent, the legal precedent that says if we impose the government will and force you to get something, who do you think pays that? That's our tax money. You are throwing tax money at people who the government has injured because you decided to make something mandatory that you should have never been able to have done in the beginning.
Yep.
So
Perfect.
I'm with RFK Jr. on this.
I am too, and I think he is a anti-vaxxer. Just let you know, he just is riding the line, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. You don't have to be pro-vaccine. There's people who work in law enforcement who aren't pro-gun, but they carry one at work. You can have, I'm not pro-condom.
Okay.
Unless I'm in prison. So let's go to the next line, and this is going to be Leroy's. First, I want to say Bobby is somebody who donates quite a bit to the show. She does a lot of things. Bobby asked me for 2 tank tops today. Bobby, we've got that tank.
She's not on the show.
Never mind.
She's doing something. She left early.
Fine. Well, we've got, all right. Well, I'll tell her later. I've got 2 videos for you. Somebody asked about the shadow cabinet last night. Guys, this is quick. We're going to put this on for 2 minutes, and we're going to have a very high-level conversation, and then I got to go to Leroy's video, and we got to get the hell out of here. We're out of here in the next 11 minutes, no matter what. I knew it was going to be a little longer tonight because we started a little bit late. This Democrat, listen, if you ever want to know what the Democrats are doing, just shut up and listen. Enjoy this. The shadow cabinet. I'm not kidding. The shadow cabinet.
If Trump attempts to weaponize the justice system against his political opponents with Matt Gaetz at the helm, we could see incoming Senator Adam Schiff as our shadow attorney general, arguing against replacing our independent prosecutors with Trump loyalists. If Trump seeks to eliminate the Department of Education, Congresswoman Johanna Hayes, a former Teacher of the Year, could step up as shadow education secretary to loudly defend public education in the United States. If Trump orders Marco Rubio to hand Ukraine and much of Eastern Europe to Russian President Vladimir Putin, Congressman Greg Meeks, as Shadow Secretary of State, could be a strong voice in support of maintaining international relationships and protecting democracy at home and abroad. Senator Michael Bennet as Shadow Treasury Secretary, and Congresswoman Susan DelBene as Shadow Commerce Secretary could help ensure the middle class and small businesses have a voice in government and call out Trump's proposed tax cuts for billionaires and corporations. As Shadow Defense Secretary, Congressman Adam Smith, a great representative for the people of Washington and not a Fox News host, could counter Trump's threat to use military force against his political opponents and work to ensure that the Department of Defense stays loyal to the Constitution and not some wannabe dictator. And Senator Tammy Duckworth could argue against cuts to the Department of Veterans Affairs that would delay the benefits and care our service members have so rightly earned. If Trump hands over the EPA to big oil ally Lee Zeldin, we could see Congresswoman Kathy Castor pushing back for environmental protection and conservation to protect the air we breathe and the water we drink. And if Trump pushes to ban abortion nationwide, Congresswoman Rosa DeLauro could step in as Shadow Secretary of Health and Human Services to defend women's right to choose and argue against the gutting of Medicare by Trump and his cronies. Mr. Speaker, new times require new solutions. The shadow cabinet isn't just about opposing extreme MAGA attacks on our government. It's also about making clear what we stand for, not just what we're against. If Trump attempts...
Go ahead, Olivia.
They're just openly admitting a coup. Openly admitting it. Openly.
No. It's a shadow government.
A freaking shadow coup.
It's a shadow
Excuse
government.
me.
Not
Oh
to
my
know that
God.
a shadow is actually you stay hidden.
Yeah.
You just publicly admitted treason.
You guys saw the election results. Freaking Republican Party has a mandate and everything. So shut the fuck up and sit down.
It sounds like seditious conspiracy, at least maybe even an insurrection to me. What do you think, Leroy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it definitely sounds like they could be inciting violence. When you use terms like shadow cabinet and you talk about how all of these people are going to battle, everyone else that Trump has duly appointed. Yeah, you sound like you're inciting violence. I don't know, man. I think that's kind of sketchy. It does it makes you wonder, right? Trump has all of these picks. He's picking out his best A-team lineup warriors, right, to take on what he knows to be problems. And the Democrats are now trying to match that. They're saying, well, look, if you're gonna install this person, we're gonna install this person to fight it. So, folks, I understand we just went through this election. I understand that the Republicans hold the House and the Senate, and I get it. But when you hear that the government can't get anything done, this is why. Because you have the Democrats who are I guarantee they already have impeachment papers already drafted. Guarantee it.
They can't do anything with it.
They can't. But what I'm saying is that battle is just ongoing, and they will continue to fight it.
You're right. But here's the thing. Matt Gaetz will arrest that motherfucker on day one. He will go ahead and get the Master at Arms, Sergeant of Arms of the Capitol Police. They will walk right into that cabinet. They will put cuffs on him and arrest him. Good. You heard what I said. Good. That is treason. It's fucking treason. You are creating a direct opposition to the duly elected government. That is treason. That is insurrection. You are using by force something to interrupt the legal law of the land, the elected law of the land. You are subverting law enforcement. You're subverting the government. That is insurrection because you told us that it was. We know insurrection is weaponry. We know insurrection is an attempt to thwart the government through physical means by intimidation. We understand that it's a coup d'etat, that one is usually an armed conflict. But no. You told us that simply challenging the result, simply defying what the government says is insurrection. He is guilty of insurrection. He deserves to be arrested.
They're grasping at straws and trying everything to hold on to power right now.
That's it.
Everything.
Yep.
Every ounce of power they can retain.
And guess what? It ain't going to work. Shadow cabinet, dipshit. Great. We're going to run a shadow government. How are we going to do it? Let's make a public announcement. You fucking idiots.
Sounds like Obama's presidency announcing every single thing they're going to do military-wise.
It's like Hogan's Heroes. It's going to get the plane. And you can't do it. It's just a peanut gallery. All right. Leroy wanted me to show this. This is the last thing we're going to go out on. However, I need to do one thing and talk about Wimkin. Wimkin, our favorite people over at Wimkin. Folks, if you've not had a chance to go over and sign up, please do so. This is the time of the show where we tell you all about it. Go over to Wimkin.com. It's pretty simple, folks. I'm going to show you how to do it right meow. All you got to do is go over and you can see Wimkin is just like Facebook. It's just like Instagram. It's just like Twitter. It's like YouTube. Everything you want. People making fun, people making jokes. There's 9 million people on it. It's interactive. They have everything you want. Here's that KAMALA impersonator who we love. We can listen in on that.
Yes. And when they come in and they get their lottery tickets, take it and go.
So you can go ahead and participate. How do you do it? You're going to say, Matt, I don't know what to do. Well, it's really simple. What you do is you do this. You go to Wimkin.com. You go ahead and you hit this sign up page. You must fill out everything. Your name, your username. Don't forget it. Write it down. Your email. You re-enter your email. Your password. Don't forget it. Write it down. Also, select your membership. It's free. Doesn't cost you a penny. It will never charge you. There are different levels to help support them if you want to do that later, but right now free is good. You have to pick a profile picture. So you come over here and you hit photo library and you hopefully don't have a porno here. We're going to go ahead and pick Pete Hegseth. That's a beautiful picture. Pete Hegseth is my picture. I'm not a robot, and you hit sign up. 24 hours later, you will receive notification and approval from Jason that you are officially a Wimkin member. By going back in and putting your username and password. Emails are not allowed through Wimkin because they've been blocked because big tech does not like competition. Go over to Wimkin, sign up. You then have any problems or issues, you get a hold of Olivia at thedumshow.com. Here is Leroy's video that I promised to show you. And listen, he wants to talk about it.
Neither the are you guys. Just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the you voted for. And just please don't test your gangster on me, because you will end on a stretcher, gone forever. So serious. Nobody talk to me unless you want to swing. If you want to fight, text me, call me. Whatever.
Those who know you say you love teaching. How hard is it to walk away from that?
It's hard right now.
You're not walking away, you're forced.
Because, this is not who I am as a professional or
sounds like it.
Who I am as a teacher.
Sounds like it.
I've devoted my whole life to this, preparing my whole life. I always wanted to be a teacher from the time I was a young child. I finally worked my way up to that and
threw it all away.
I am well respected, which I appreciate. I love my students. I love their families. I love the people I work with. I'm just trying to do what's right now to get my life back on track and get back to what I love. And it's my biggest passion in the world.
What's your message to those parents?
Those parents, I am so sorry that you had to see that side of me, because the only side of me I ever wanted you to see was what you saw and what I did for your kids and what I did for you. And I hope that I was always a support and always did everything that I possibly could for you. And I promise you that I intended to, and I did everything I could to be there for the families and the parents, and just how sorry I am that now this is out there and they have to see this side of me.
This all started to unfold when that video was released earlier this week, prompting the school and police to investigate. She posted it on Snapchat. A friend of hers reposted it, and that's when it went viral. Dunleavy also told me today that police updated her today, and Cheshire Police say they do not plan to charge her.
All right, Leroy wanted to see this. Hold on, let me do the turnover. My God, it's like just this vapid vulturistic piranha. Leroy has
you're right.
Leroy has much. Leroy, it's not that you talk too much. It's just that I have a show to run, and you are an impatient fucking guy sometimes. Leroy has something to say, folks.
The rules.
Go ahead, Leroy.
So, for anybody who really wasn't tracking that story, that is Annie Dunleavy. She is from Cheshire, Connecticut, and she teaches elementary school. And after she had her little meltdown on Snapchat, it was somehow caught by somebody who was videoing her video, because I think after a while on Snapchat, that video goes away. So they recorded it, then re-released it onto YouTube and any other platform, and it went viral. Now, after she had her little meltdown and it went viral, she found herself in quite a bit of hot water. Now, should she lose her teaching career over that? I have my opinions, but I wanted to throw it around to everyone first. Matt, you go first.
Nope. Olivia, go first.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
If you're in charge of shaping our young minds, and then no, you should absolutely, you should be fired. If you want to have that rant in your home, to your husband, to your friends, and you whatever, fine. But the moment you take it public, then that's a problem, in my opinion. And I that's just me. I mean, I have tried to get a job in our school system since I moved here, and I have yet to get a job in our school system. Why? Because I'm on the show. And I haven't been on the show only a year and a half, but because my husband ran this show, I'm affiliated with it. So I was ousted from the very beginning. There was no way I was going to get a job in the school system, period.
Yeah.
But yes, if you're going to be shaping young minds, I don't want you anywhere near my kids, because I know how you're going to end up being. And you're going to end up being so bitter that you're going to start telling my kids how they need to think and what their political affiliations need to be. It might not be outright like, no, you can't be Republican, but you're going to drop little hints. And elementary school, those minds are so influential, and they're like parrots. They copy everything. I don't want her near my children. I don't want her teaching my children. I don't want her near them. So absolutely, she should be fired.
Matt, what do you think?
For those of you, the one of you who it was Leroy's video, you guys, it's extremely hard to run one of these things. And anytime you want to come and try, let me know. So it's tough.
Yeah.
It ain't easy. Okay. So I try to keep it all together. I get these topics very quickly. And all I was trying to do was introduce the topic, because Leroy can't introduce the topic until I give him the ability to do that. But he can't show the video, and he can't run the scenes, and he can't run the clips. Someday soon, we will have that option, and Leroy will have a system that we were just talking about before the show where he can do that, and I can just sit back and let him run it. Because honestly, I've been doing this for 4 fucking years. If you don't think I want a vacation, you're crazy. And Leroy and I are busting balls. Leroy's not hurt. His vagina is completely intact. Trust me. Okay.
I haven't gone through that actual change yet, just so that you know.
I'm trying to convince him, but he's stubborn. So here's the thing. Glenn says Leroy can't do shit.
Shit.
So here's the thing. I saw this the other night, and I saved it for Leroy because I didn't get to play it. And he's like, "It's mine," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. I know which one he wants to see."
Yeah, I literally texted first thing this morning, and I was
saw
like,
it.
"Dibs on this, bitch." Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad I didn't show it. And that's what I want from you guys, is when you find something to hit me. So I'll be quick. If you can't, like, should somebody be fired for having an opinion? No. No. I don't think someone should be fired for having an opinion. Should somebody, does everyone feel she was threatening physical violence? I think people need to like pull their panties out of their vaginas a little bit. Because there was a guy today who told Nick Fuentes that he wants to have a celebrity boxing match with him. Yeah, he's threatening him. We know he's threatening him. So we get these clever little ways to threaten people. And that's what she was doing. Did you expect her to fight Trump Nation? No. Is she pissed because she lost the election? Yes. Were we just as obnoxious in 2020? Most certainly we were. But there's a big but. There's a caveat to this. So I can relate to her because I've said dumb shit, but the difference is I'm self-employed and I can't fire myself. But If you can't demonstrate composure and decision quality without people watching you, then you have no business teaching children. It's not that you were frustrated and pissed. It's that you didn't have the presence of mind to make a good decision. And if you can't make a career decision, which is detrimental to you, to throw your entire career away, knowing that's what would be the reaction, and stopping yourself, then you don't have the mental capacity to make good decisions with my kids. So I don't want you around them. And I think that's why you shouldn't do it. Should you be fired? I think it's up to the position of the district and the superintendent. But I would fire you, because I would not say it's because you have an opinion. It's because you don't exercise good judgment. And unfortunately, that's all teaching is. That's my point. Okay, I'll hand it over. Go.
I told Matt first thing this morning, I was like, look, I have a little bit of a different take on this, because when you go through the actual checkpoints of the story, she posted this on her Snapchat, and somebody videotaped, if you looked at the video, somebody videotaped the actual phone as it was happening. So this got to an audience that she never intended. I don't know necessarily the circumstances behind her Snapchat. So if she was just sharing it to all of 10 friends that maybe she had, and they were all Democrats, I have a very different take on that then, because somebody videotaped that on top without necessarily her knowledge and or permission, and then it went viral. That would be like Matt and I having a conversation. I see something stupid, which I often do, right? And next thing you know, unintended, not unlike our sex tape, it goes viral, and then what? Like, that was never meant to go out. That was a private conversation to some degree. So I felt like she should not have been fired. We all have had those hothead emotional moments where we're like, you know what, fuck that guy, or I wish, so-and-so had some level of violence that they would have run into in their lives, right? We've all had those hot-headed moments. And certainly this was a contentious election. There was a lot riding on the line for a lot of people. And so for emotions to have already been running high was something that I felt was pretty normal. So for her to have a little bit of a meltdown, hey, I get it. I don't necessarily understand why everyone wants to videotape their meltdown and then post it, but, it happens. It's a new day and age, right? That being said, I felt like this was a violation on her to some degree, as if, hey, that wasn't meant for the world. And I really feel like she should have been kind of exonerated on that fact.
I have that.
So as many of the first set of the comments that we saw that said fire her, get rid of her, I got to push back a little bit, because if we continue down those same rabbit holes that the Democrats love, then don't we become a little bit like them? Don't we just turn into like a vindictive bunch? Now, my only counter argument to that thought process, and I'm sure everyone's going to back me up here, is we just got done listening to Trump tell us how he wants to protect our kids, right? If this person is that emotional and she's talking about stacking bodies and, laying people out on a stretcher from which they'll never wake up, I mean, you could make the argument that, hey, that's pretty threatening. Like, if you're talking about keeping your kids safe, like, from whom? The teacher themselves. So I get that kind of point, but at the same time, I did still feel like she had her free speech infringed upon. And that to some degree, a private message went out that was not intended as such. And I don't know. That was my take on it.
Okay, Liv, you got yours, and then I got mine. Go.
Okay, so there's one rule when it comes to anything that's connected to the internet. Make sure that you are okay with everyone seeing it, because once it's online, everyone's going to see it. It is there forever. So one thing we've taught our children, don't post anything that you will be embarrassed about 20 years from now, because it will still be there. Snapchat is not a private thing. Snapchat is a social media channel, just like all the other ones. Yes, you can set your profile to private, but it's still internet and it's still social media. If she had just made a video on her phone, never sent it to anybody, and just wanted to rant so she had it, and no one saw it but her, and somebody hacked her phone and released it, I would agree with you. But she posted it on the internet, on the social media channel, and that's her fault, and that's where poor decision-making comes in.
A wonderful point. Wonderful counterpoint. Great points between the both of you. I'm going to appeal to Leroy's side. Leroy is a libertarian. Leroy, as a libertarian, when do your rights stop?
The moment they infringe on somebody else's rights.
Thank you very much. Thanks for converting to our side. I'm glad you agree that she should be fired. Because the moment that you threaten physical violence, whether it's in jest to you or not, you are infringing upon somebody else's right. You're also infringing upon those children to make up their own mind, not to be indoctrinated, not to be influenced by somebody who is political. These are in the creeds of being a teacher. It's in the conduct. You don't threaten people, and these codes of conduct are held to a higher standard of expectations. So her right to privacy was negated because there is no right to privacy in the public space. According to a libertarian point of view, she threatened somebody else's right. Therefore, her rights are null and void, and she should be fired.
I got one more point.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
The next thing I wanted to say, I don't know whether you agree, but that's my libertarian side of the argument. I'm okay, Leroy. Like, she can threaten me all day, and I'm going to laugh at her. But the moment that you go ahead and quash somebody else's rights, yours are pretty much there. But here's the other thing, the last thing that I would say about this whole damn thing. She's not sorry. She's sorry she got caught.
Right.
And I will give you an example also about this, is that this same thing happened in Virginia. And when we had the Ruth Marks chick for superintendent, is that she created a group to dox Republican parents who spoke out against the education system and harass them. And they would send these addresses to liberals in this private Facebook group and send them to go ahead and harass parents at ball games, at their work, call their bosses, and try to destroy them. That was in the private group. That was under private terms. And it was found out, and it's one of the reasons why a lot of them were arrested and she was fired. So I think teachers are held to a higher standard. I think cops are held to a higher standard. I think professional athletes are held to a higher standard. And the one reason why is because they're all in the public eye. As a teacher, you should have known fucking better.
I've got one more thing on this. The one thing that most schools are huge on is bullying. Anti-bully, anti-bully, anti-bully. That is our kids' school. It is taught. It is, if you get caught bullying, it is horrible consequences for bullying. That was being a bully. You were threatening other people. Doesn't matter that you didn't physically do it. Being a bully is calling names. Being a bully is threatening somebody. Being a bully does not necessarily mean physical harm. Words are bullying. She was being a bully.
Yep.
And how can she be a teacher and teach those kids not to bully
when she's a bully?
When she's a bully.
Got it.
And they're never going to, how can the kids listen to her?
Because they're not necessarily going to see those behaviors from her, we would hope. But I'm not willing to take that risk, and neither should the superintendent. Leroy, you get final minute on this, Olivia, and then we'll close it out. Go.
I have just heard so many instances. You know, how many times have we seen Ben Shapiro or Michael Knowles go to a campus, have their speech, and then they have to debate the fact on whether or not words are actually violence. And what we defend them because what, they're on our side? No, we have to believe in these things or we don't. I really feel like I still hold my original opinion that she should not have backed down from that. Now, whether or not she got fired of her own, if she had walked away from it and said, look, I don't want to take the pressure anymore, fine. Should she have been fired? I don't think so.
Should a person
now,
be fired for threatening to kill the president of the United States?
Well, that's not what she did.
I didn't ask that. Don't do semantics. Should a person be fired for threatening the life of the president of the United States?
Yes.
Then why shouldn't they be fired for threatening the life of human beings who are not the president of the United States? Because it's illegal to threaten the life of the president, and it's illegal to threaten the life of your fellow citizens. Is it not?
You're right.
So words are violent, especially when they're violent. Now, you saying you're a fucktard isn't violent. You saying you're stupid, you're saying you're a kike, that's not violent. Those are protected under free speech. But the moment you say, I'm going to throw you in an incinerator and kill you like Hitler, you're breaking the law. You're breaking the law. I mean, the law is that.
I really feel like we've all done that, though. Haven't we?
I've never said those words to anyone in my life. I've never said anything like that in my life. Have I said to somebody, if you touch my kid, I'm going to kill you? Well, that's a prerequisite. That's a prerequisite. So okay. Have I threatened violence against somebody is what you're asking?
Right.
Yes, I have. In a one-on-one exchange, but what I wouldn't do is be as stupid enough to go online and broadcast it in front of thousands of people and say, hey man, I'm going to fucking kill you, because guess what? I'm going to go to jail. So no, I don't think I've ever said, I'm not dumb enough to say that shit. You know what I mean? I understand where you're coming from. I think it's okay to say a lot of mean things. I say some fucked up shit on this show, but what I don't do is I don't threaten people, or I don't use my rights to remove theirs. You know what I mean? Liv, you have any other thoughts on this? Or Leroy, go ahead.
The actual words that she used, though, were that you will need a stretcher. Gone. Forever. It's not like she actually said, I'm going to kill you. So I think we're drawing a lot of conclusions here based off of her attitude, not just her words. And I get what you're saying. Definitely the threat of violence, but the threat of death, I don't know. I guess it's open to interpretation, and I still maintain that people should be allowed to say what the hell they want, right? And vent what they want. And in her case, Liv, you bring up an excellent point. If you're going to speak into your phone, just assume that it's out there for the entire world to see. But, I still feel like you should be able to say it.
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. I look at this in black and white. If a Trump supporter who is a teacher said that she wanted Democrats and my neighbors to be gone forever and go on a stretcher, and that she wants to physically hurt them, I would want them removed from teaching my child. Yeah. That's just me. But see, I think what we're doing here in this is that you have two different arguments. One is a moral argument, and the other is a legal argument. From the moral argument, I don't fucking care. She should have a right to say whatever the fuck she wants. And if she wants to vent and just be like, oh, you fucking Trump supporters, I just want to strangle you sometimes, she shouldn't go lose her job for that. But that's not what she did. The legal argument is that she has a responsibility, a signed contract as a teacher, as a union member. She has a set of rules and ethics that she must follow. She breached those, and the school held her accountable for it under their law. So the legal argument, I'm all for it. For the moral argument, I think people are a bunch of pussies and need to learn how to suck it up a little bit. That's my take. I'm with you on the moral argument. I completely vehemently disagree with you on the legal argument.
And the last point, and then I'll shut up for the night. And I will say this too. I wanted to bring this one up specifically because I could see where there was some arguments on both sides. And I feel like that's one of the things where we need to have more conversations like that. We need to find out who is not going to be so wishy-washy, right? Stand your ground and say, no, I really do feel like she should have been, at least have the ability to say what she did, or to your point, Well, sure, she should be able to, and then get fired for it. You know what I mean? That's why I wanted to bring this up, because I like having these conversations.
Yeah, and bottom line is government has no business listening to our phone calls. Well, not according to the Patriot Act, and this wasn't a phone call. This is Snapchat. She went on a public forum and she posted a live video of herself talking to her snappers. It would be like me doing this and saying, Bob Smith from Tecumseh, Georgia, Ville, I'm going to find you. I'm going to put you on a stretcher and you're going to be gone forever. Guess what? I'm in trouble, because if John Smith sees that and he goes, this guy just threatened me.
Accessibility shortcuts.
Watch pushing your keyboard. Don't push anything right now. Get off the keyboard.
I don't think that was me.
It's okay. Just get off the keyboard.
What was that?
It's
I don't know.
my computer's acting weird and I don't want to lose it. So I got to find out why. Happy with this computer, but there's some shit that needs to be rectified. One is the delay in the mics. Anyway, Leroy, thanks for, dude, great.
It's not me.
I know. There's a problem, but it's really,
you should jump off.
I can't jump off because everything's frozen, dude.
Oh no.
No.
Okay, let me just hold on a second, please. We're leaving right now.
That almost sounds like a volume adjustment.
It is, but it's something stuck somewhere. I don't know. Anyway, folks, thanks for watching.
I have one thing to say. Remember?
You better say it quick because we got to get off the fucking thing.
Okay. It was just somebody.
Don't say it quick. Slow down. Take your time, but do it.
Yes. One of our viewers, unfortunately, another vet was lost yesterday. So
who?
He won't say his name yet, but he was part of his unit. And
is he a part of our show?
No, the viewer is, but the person who lost.
Who's the viewer?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say it or not.
Well, then why are we saying it at all?
Because it was just meant to say, maybe go the crisis hotline.
Yeah, I'm all about it. But
yeah.
if a viewer are they okay?
It was sent to me by somebody else and was just asked to bring light to it.
Let me see the phone.
So,
hold on a second. Okay. Thank you. Yes. All right. So Veteran Crisis Hotline, folks, if you have not had a chance, it's pretty simple. This is the Veteran Crisis number. It's not, it is okay to not be okay to ask for help. Call 1-800 number. It's easier.
With the Cast of Seal team.
Wait.
And we have an important message for
call 988 and then press 1. Really a simple way to get a hold of the help that you need.
I'm David Boreanaz.
In order to make a phone call, 988 and press 1. I'm sorry, get this thing to stop.
It was Thomas Griffiths. He said it was okay.
Yeah. So first of all, it sucks to lose friends, and there's too many that we lose a day. Down, that's good, but they always get up during Christmas. So yes, we're seeing about 17 to 18 now, and that's great. We need to continue to work, but it's Christmas time and it's going to get rough. We will go out with VCL, and then we will close out for the night. Leroy, anything else on that?
No, just Thomas, if I'm sorry to hear about that, and if you need anything, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, and once again, we appreciate you sharing. Leroy, great show, man. Great conversation. I love the little controversy at the end. I agree with you. We need to do more of that. And we thank everybody. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday. God bless. Take care of each other. See you soon.
Love you guys.
Oh, Bobby, your shirts are on the way. Olivia and I decided to take care of them for you. We've got them. We'll get the autographs on them like you wanted. If anyone else has any special requests, please let us know. God bless. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Night, y'all.
With the Cast of Seal team, and we have an important message for returning vets.
We want you to know if you're struggling to cope, there's help and it's just a phone call away.
The Veterans Crisis Line is staffed with experienced professionals who know your struggles.
There's no greater sacrifice in service to our country. We're able to enjoy our freedoms because of it.
Your service is important. You are important.
For vets and their families, the Veterans Crisis Line is here to help 24 hours a day. Please call.
Transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.